broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas to provide reliable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
Riggs Rents, Arkansas's rental equipment provider, from aerial lifts to dirt moving machines and everything in between. Our family-owned and operated business takes pride in serving our employees and customers. Riggs Rents, a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports.
Farmers and Merchants Bank and the Bank of Fayetteville share the mission of Arkansas PBS to enrich and empower all Arkansans. Community, dignity, respect. That's what Me Banking is all about. More at mebanking.com.
Local broadcast of Arkansas PBS programming is made possible in part by Community Bakery. Scratch-made breads, pastries, cakes, treats, and locally roasted coffees. Served daily at 2 locations in Little Rock, 1200 Main and 270 Shackelford.
During the past year, we've been traversing the natural state with our cinematic drone, from lakes and rivers, waterfalls, scenic byways, mountains, swamps, overlooks, and towering rock formations. This unique documentation of all 4 seasons from all 4 corners of the state with an aerial cinematic perspective will give you, the viewer, an Arkansas adventure like never before.
Welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. It's the nightcap on a Saturday, a cool, brisk Saturday, the 4A state championship game between Joe T. Robinson and Shiloh Christian. Hello, everybody. I'm Wes Moore, joined by Bobby Swafford in the booth. A couple of 13-1 teams getting set to play tonight, and you look at it all year long. Basically, they've been 1-2 in 4A, and a lot of people thought this very well could be the matchup.
Everybody thought that Robinson versus Shiloh was the matchup in the finals of the preseason. They thought it was the matchup when the bracket was finalized after Week 10. And here we are in the second weekend of December, and these two teams, who are no stranger to War Memorial Stadium, are going to duke it out for a championship.
2 years ago, they played for a state championship here at War Memorial Stadium. Joe T. got the win that night. Last year, Shiloh Christian made it back. They got the title, so each team has won a title in the last 2 years. Let's take a look at some of the key players to watch tonight. We'll start with Shiloh Christian, and it all begins with the quarterback.
You know, it's nice to be able to throw the football pretty effectively. It's nice to be able to run the ball as a quarterback, but when you can do both, you're exactly what Eli Wisdom's been able to do. 35 touchdown passes, 18 rushing touchdowns, more than 3,800 yards of total offense. Eli Wisdom makes the Saints offense go, and as you can imagine by those points, they put up a lot of points, and they put them up in bunches.
53 total touchdowns from Wisdom. We'll keep an eye right there on number 2. Now for Pulaski Robinson, Joe T. Robinson, the Senators, their quarterback, Jack Cleveland. He's put up some nice numbers this year.
Yeah, he's been really effective in protecting the football. That's key. 2,700 yards is nice, but that bottom line you see on the stat line, 33 touchdowns compared to just 5 interceptions. Was that 8-to-1 touchdown interception ratio thereabouts? You protect the football and you put it in the end zone, you're going to give your team a chance to win.
Cleveland's a great story because when the year started, he wasn't projected to be the starting quarterback. He and Jakaisen Wright, you'll see a lot of Jakaisen Wright tonight, number 1, a wide receiver. They were in a quarterback battle, and it was Cleveland that won the battle, and then he took over and has just flourished. And Coach Escola was just raving about Cleveland earlier this week, said he just makes right decisions. He gets them into right plays. He was bragging about a couple of checks he made against Warren last week. A couple of them resulted into touchdowns, so they feel like he is another coach on the field.
getting in the right spot, getting into the right position, and putting in your team in a right spot that be successful is all a quarterback's really asked to do. You go out and make plays beyond that. You take it to another level. These two teams combined average 88 points per game, and their quarterback's a big reason why. The scoreboard operator better be on his game tonight.
We will come back. We'll show you how these teams got here. We will also head down to the field to check in with the third member of our crew. Stick around. The 4A state championship game is coming up.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
Join us for 20 years of Christmas with the Tabernacle Choir.
Join us and the students and faculty of Belmont University's School of Music
as we celebrate Christmas at Belmont.
Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown!
Only on Arkansas PBS.
Okay, Frisbee, let's remember, it's one bark for true and no barks for false. Arkansas PBS is Arkansas's largest classroom.
Bark!
Frisbee didn't eat my slippers. Oh, Frisbee, how could you?
No, I'm sorry, Miss House. I was gonna tell you, but it slipped my mind.
Please don't let it slip your mind and donate to Arkansas PBS today.
Bark!
Centennial Bank is committed to you. Since our founding in 1999, we've become one of the nation's most trusted banks by remembering that you come first, by empowering our communities to reach their highest potential through our dedication to local charities, education, and exceptional service, because we are proud to call Arkansas home. Banking with you in mind. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
As we mentioned, we have a couple of 13-1 teams coming into this 4A state championship game. How they got here, well, let's take a look. Both just rolling through the playoffs. Shiloh Christian, though, had a good game last week against Arkadelphia, down to the wire.
They had to go blow for blow with the Badgers, and 57-54. You can see it on the left side of the upright there. It's, Coach Jeff Conaway said that they would get up a touchdown, and once they got possession to maybe extend that lead, they turned the football over. That he said that is the biggest key tonight against Robinson. Got to protect the football.
Nice road win heading up to Rivercrest. Not only getting a win, but 41-7. That is impressive. Now for Joe T, they have had a pretty good roll through the playoffs. They've had some impressive wins, but I don't know if any of them were as impressive as what they did last week against Warren.
Yeah. The fact that they beat the Lumberjacks is not surprising, but the fact that they posted a 30-point victory, it was a Mercer rule, had to do it on the road. It checked all the boxes of why Robinson's in the state championship, why they were expected to be in the state championship, and why they've got a chance to win the title.
And we always like to talk about guys who are going to be playing on Saturdays at the next level, and tonight we have a couple of future Razorbacks playing into this game. Let's head down to the sideline and check in with Kyle Sutherland.
Guys, Marion Harris for Robinson and Caden Henley of Shiloh, they might be wearing different uniforms tonight. Both four-year starters, and next year will be wearing a Razorback uniform, a part of the 22 class. Marion Harris starting his 58th game as a high school player. He started as a 13-year-old against 7A Shiloh Christian. And so these two guys are going to be opponents tonight and looking to make their state championship before they head to college. But next year, they'll be wearing the same uniform in Fayetteville. Back to you.
There's a look at Caden Henley, 135 tackles, 22 tackles for a loss, and 2 interceptions. And you will see him on offense.
He kind of does a little bit of everything. They'll line him up at tight end. They'll line him up in the backfield. He's their short yardage guy. He's a thumper on defense, but he's going to run into a wall of a man in a Marion Harris.
Marion Harris is just – he's huge. If you've never met someone that big in your life, it's just kind of awe-inspiring when you stand next to him. And there are stories of him being confused as a college football recruit as a 7th grader, 8th grader. I know Coach Maupin has told us stories of when he was in the 5th grade and he was on a visit with his brother and a bunch of other Joe T players, and they were getting weighed and measurables. And the coach was all about this one. We haven't weighed this one. They're like, He's a fifth grader. Yeah. And they're like, well, let's weigh him and size him up anyway. He was like 6 foot, 200 pounds, I think the story goes, as a fifth grader.
And that the growing hasn't stopped. 6'7", listed at 370 pounds. The footwork's good. He plays offense and defense. He can make plays, so he's going to be an impact player as the Senators hit the field. You want to have a lineman control a game? Well, Robinson certainly got one who can do so.
They're going to try to run the ball tonight, but they will take to the air and throw some. And here come the Shiloh Christian Saints, the American flag, the Shiloh flags. We are ready for some football at War Memorial Stadium. The 4A title, the Saints looking to go back-to-back. Joe T looking for their second title in 3 years. Two teams that know how to win, two teams that have been winning a lot. And tonight, they want to continue it.
These two teams have been the pinnacle. You throw Arkadelphia in the mix, you throw Warren in the mix. Those have been the four that have really been the pinnacle of 4A football, and it's fitting that these two teams in their last year of 4A, you brought it up in the previous game, both of these squads are moving up to 5A, so they're both looking to go out on top, but their success is not going to stop once they move up. I think you and I are both in agreement they're going to compete at the next level as well.
Yeah, we wondered, could this be a preview of the 5A state championship? And I know there are a lot of schools out there that will have a say in that and try to prevent this from happening next year, but I do believe both schools will have success at the next level. The Senators are getting ready to kick off. They will start this game on defense unless something happens on this kickoff. The Saints will be returning the opening kickoff. They'll have a couple guys going back there. Jacob Solomon is one of their kick returners. Ben Baker, a running back. We should talk a little bit about Ben. He had a huge game last week, 23 carries, 207 yards rushing, and 5 touchdowns in that win over Arkadelphia.
And one thing about Shiloh Christian is we're going to take a look at the kick return unit. Jeff Conaway believes in putting his best players on the field no matter the situation. You're going to see a lot of starters on that kick return unit, on their punt team, on the field goal unit, because you don't want a breakdown in any phase of the game, so you might as well put your best players available out there.
Alex Gabriel set to kick off, and we are underway. A short kickoff fielded by Shiloh at the 25 and quickly brought down, slung to the ground at the 27. A 2-yard return before Brandon Grill, BG, brings him down.
Going to go first look at Eli Wisdom, the do-it-all quarterback. He's been recruited as a defensive back for some schools. He's got speed to burn, but we saw the offensive numbers earlier. 35 touchdown passes, 8 interceptions, almost 2,800 yards through the air. He can do it as a quarterback as well.
Jonas Nance, Jesse Brown, Nathan Lentine, Jackson Ball, and Zach Brown on that offensive line for the Saints. Wisdom and shotgun. Wisdom looking to throw. Pressure coming on the blind side. Throws it deep. He has a receiver. That receiver's open. Cooper Hutchinson with the catch. The ball pops out. We'll say the ground caused that the ball to come loose.
What a great concept to start the contest for Shiloh Christian. Had 3 receivers to the near side. Wisdom takes the hit, and a busted coverage allows Hutchinson to go right down the seam in a huge game to start for the Saints.
Wisdom will hand it off over the right side. Got a hole inside the 10, down to the 5. The Saints are in great scoring territory. Ben Baker with the carry. Daryl Searcy, the Senators' starting running back, makes the tackle.
2 explosive plays to start. Shiloh Christian likes to operate quickly on the offensive side, and nothing more quick than reeling off about 75 yards in 2 plays.
Caden Henley in the backfield with Eli Wisdom. Henley, the big back. They'll use him down by the goal line. Going to use him as a blocker. Wisdom takes it. Nothing there.
A lot of times when you bring in those defensive players to play offense, they'll take you right to the football, and Robinson does a nice job of recognizing that Henley's in the game. He's going to be the lead blocker and shuts down the quarterback draw.
Campos on the tackle. He almost brought down Wisdom on the sack on the long play. 2nd and goal, ball on the 4. Wisdom to Baker. Got a hole. Into the end zone. No, they're going to mark him down just short of the goal line. Now they're saying, is the ball loose?
They whistled that it might be Robinson football. And they are.
They are saying Robinson football. We'll have to take a replay, and this will be reviewed. All turnovers are reviewed. Ooh, that's close. They're going to take a look at this one. Chase Nichols there on the tackle. Still has it there, spinning.
The ball's out.
Ball was out. Good eyes.
That's a big break for Robinson as Shiloh Christian just marches it down the field, gets all the way to the goal line, but couldn't get those last 6 inches as Robinson jars it free.
That's Landon Trusty, our referee tonight.
The previous play is under further review.
We can take a look at it again. We clearly saw the ball was out. I want to see which Senator came in there at the last second. I mean, this is a touchdown saving hit. Chase Nichols, it appears, number 10, was the one who laid the hit and jarred the ball loose as he's spinning towards the goal line. This will be 10 coming in right here. No, that's not the right angle. Take another look at it.
See the ball coming out loose. The right knee hits the ground.
Robinson jumps on it, so we have a clear recovery. First hit, and it's the second hit right here. It knocks the ball out. I don't think, it can't tell if the ball had crossed the plane yet, but Chase Nichols, the junior safety, came in and knocked it out.
After review, it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for Robinson. Ball was recovered in the end zone.
So that's also a big part of the review is Robinson was deemed to recover the football in the end zone. So instead of being at their own 1-yard line, they get the ball at the 20.
That's a good point. We were worried about, was it a fumble?
Coach Jeff Conway.
Was it out? Or maybe he broke the plane.
We didn't have a down-the-line shot, so we couldn't really tell if it broke the plane. It didn't look like as his body was kind of turning away with the football. That's a huge break ×2 for Robinson, as not only get they get the football, they prevent from getting it on the shadow of their own goalpost.
Chase Nichols, the first big play of the night, pops the ball out right before Shiloh crosses the plane, and Robinson takes over. 1st and 10, ball at the 20. Cleveland in shotgun, brings the receiver in motion. Saints jump off sides. Got a flag down.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Got to control the motions if you're Shiloh Christian. The first offensive big swing doesn't go your way. Now defensively, you've got to settle in. But Robinson gets a head start as they get a free 5 yards.
Defensive tackles wanting to get out there until Marion Harris. Here's a handoff right up the middle. That'll be a 1st down for Joe T. They pick up 7 on 1st down. I was watching Harris on. He's going to be fun to watch. If you're sitting at the house tonight, he's going to be on that left side, your left tackle, and he just drove the defender 6 yards backwards.
He was all kind of that combo block on the right defensive end, and he quickly got up to the linebacker level. That's a good explosiveness from a player who's listed at 370 pounds.
Number 76. Cleveland, he's going to keep it, go over that right side. Not much there, picks up 2 on 1st down.
Robinson tried to pull the backside guard and tackle, and they couldn't get out there quick enough. Shiloh Christian able to shut that one down just beyond the line of scrimmage.
Noah DeJarnot with the tackle. Number 22, you see coming up from his linebacker spot.
116 stops for DeJarnot this year.
2nd and 8. Cleveland has Darryl Searcy Jr. next to him. Cleveland back to pass, pumps it, going deep, looking for a receiver. He's got a receiver open, makes the catch. That's Zach Wofford with it. Wofford has the 1st down and much more. They'll mark him down at the 31.
Yeah, that ball hung up just a little bit. Wofford did a nice job of coming back to it. I thought the Shiloh Christian defender might have had a chance to make a play on it, but Wofford uses his frame, boxes out the defender, makes the big play.
Who's up and gets it? Give it to Searcy. Searcy over the right side, still fighting for yards. Across the 25, down to the 23. Seth Lowe on the tackle.
It'd be easy as a coach and a play caller just to design every running play right behind your big left tackle, but got to be balanced. Nice job to use the right side of that offensive line to pick up 8.
Give it to Searcy again. He's trying to get outside. He's hemmed up, making moves, trying to make something out of nothing, and he does. He'll pick up the first down, move those chains, ball down at the 18. That was all Searcy.
Yeah, Caden Henley was in the backfield, had a chance to get him down well behind the line of scrimmage, but he's able to step through that tackle attempt by Henley and picks up nice yardage, and as you mentioned, moves the chains.
Ball is at the 19-yard line. Joe T's first drive of the game. Marching down. Big play through the air. Give it to Searcy again. He's over the left side. He's to the 10. He's brought down by the ankles. Picks up 9.
You can't argue with Cleveland. I don't think the offensive line's going to have trouble hearing him. You can see his entire body move when he calls for the football from his quarterback spot.
Check out the tackle from Jacob Solomon in the open field. If he doesn't make that tackle, he picks up the first down and more. Searcy again, this time nowhere to go. There was some penetration in the backfield. Saints all over that.
That's a great job defensively. I believe that's 52, Brent Watney, who just comes inside of Harris, the big left tackle, and comes underneath and makes the big play.
Lose yards on that. 3rd and 3. They need to get it just inside the 10-yard line. Probably about the 9.5 for the first down. Coach Escola told me earlier this week they're here to score touchdowns. I think this is 4-down territory if they don't pick it up here. They're going to get the first down and more. Saints cannot make the tackle. Nope, they're going to say stepped out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Solomon pushed him out of bounds, got just enough to get the back, and that's Daryl Searcy out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Here's a good look at it. See if he steps out. Right there, yep, great angle, stepped out of bounds right at the 2.
Robinson, they'll have a chance to take advantage of their defensive good fortune as they force the turnover. I think a chance to take advantage offensively.
First and goal, it's Searcy, and he just goes over that left side. They loaded up on that left side. He ran in behind Amari and Harris, and they had a big tight end over there. They just powered their way in. And Searcy gets the first points on the board for Joe T.
It's big boy football, as you said, Wes. Just load up the left side, run behind your big tackle and tight end, and it's man on man, and Robinson strikes first.
Alex Gabriel on to attempt the extra point. He was 65 of 68 this season. Kicks up. And it's good. Joe T. Robinson takes the lead 7-0 over Shiloh Christian. You are watching the Centennial Bank State Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
You're back. It's good to have you home, James.
The best practice in Glasgow. They've offered me a job, but to work out if there's something here worth staying for.
Oh, someone?
Helen.
I'd like to have danced with you again.
If your toes could take it.
Tristan!
Why don't you try standing up to him?
Have you met my brother? You know I'm always open to new ideas.
I need to talk to you about Glasgow.
You belong here. This is your home.
This month in Passport on the PBS video app.
I'm on a journey to find holiday traditions that speak to me and my family.
This is a celebration of life.
I'm Rick Steves. Join me. We'll see what 17th century financiers did with their mega riches.
Don't slap it. What did it do to you?
Join Bridget, Julia, and the rest of the America's Test Kitchen gang.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS video app.
If you love seeing these televised high school sports championships, please consider making a gift to Arkansas PBS today.
Turnovers always huge in football, but it seems in the state championship games are even bigger. We've been talking about it the first weekend, so far this weekend. Joe T. Robinson takes a Shiloh Christian turnover right at the goal line and turns it into 7 points, marching 80 yards. Short kick fielded right around the 30. Once again, Joe T's there to cover it quickly, and Shiloh Christian will take over at the 34.
We always talk about starting fast, scoring first, and Shiloh Christian put together a masterful drive offensively, moved the ball all the way down inside the 5-yard line, but finishing that drive was the biggest key, and now Robinson gets 7 points off of that turnover. And so instead of Shiloh Christian feeling really good about themselves and their fans with a lead, Robinson able to take all that momentum and go back the other way with it.
Just a huge turnover, taking 7 possible points off the board and giving a little momentum to Joe T. Robinson. Saints' second drive starts right around the 34. Receiver comes in motion. Wisdom fakes the handoff. He's looking to pass. They're trying to set up the screen, and that screen's blown up. That's Zach Wofford making another big play.
Wofford makes the big play on offense, catches the long fade route down the far sideline, and that time he reads the halfback screen perfectly and gets out there and makes a play. Avoids the 2 Shiloh linemen out in space and drops him for a big loss.
Loss of 5 on the play, and that was a tackle on Henley, and he tackled him low. Wisdom looking to pass, now scrambling, pressure's coming, and he just dumps it off to a receiver. He makes the catch, but they're going to lose more yards on the play.
They're going to come in and say that one hit the turf first. Actually going to save Shiloh Christian a couple yards.
3rd and 15.
Playing from behind the chains is what Robinson's defense has been successful at all season long, according to the defensive stats. That's a key word there, according to the stats. 226 tackles for loss this year.
Aggressive defense. 3rd and 15. Wisdom walks up to the line of scrimmage. He's got a couple receivers to his left and to his right. Receiver goes in motion. Wisdom under pressure. Robinson gets him. 2 defenders bring him down. That's Campos and Pennington. Each came into the game with 7 sacks. Now each have 7.5 sacks.
It's a great job. Shiloh Christian clearly trying to make a shot downfield on 3rd and long. Protection broke down, and they converge on the quarterback, and Robinson going to get great field position for their offense, looking to add to the 7-0 lead.
And their punt returner, looks like Jacob Solomon back there. No, that's Shiloh's punt returner. Chase Nichols is back around his own 45. Caleb Anderson gets the punt off. He punts it and kicks it away from Nichols. Gets a great bounce, and it just keeps rolling inside the 35 to about the 33. He came into the game averaging 45.5 yards per punt. That went from the 25 to the 33, 17. That's 42 yards with no return. I think most teams will take that.
That's a weapon you can use, and that's Shiloh Christian doesn't punt it very often. But when they do, they've got a weapon there in Anderson that can kind of help field position. Because traditionally, you're going to get the ball near midfield if you're punting from your own inside your own 20. But that time, able to flip field position and force Robinson try to go 72.
So Robinson starts their second drive on the 32. They just went 80 yards for the first score of the game. Searcy in the backfield next to Cleveland. Cleveland back to throw, and he's going deep once again. He overthrows the defender and
kind of a dangerous throw there by Cleveland. They faked the kind of the stop screen or the tunnel screen to the top of your screen, and they try to sneak a receiver out behind the coverage of Shiloh Christian, but they read that one perfectly, stayed at home, and forced that incompletion.
He was looking for Ja'Kyson Wright. That's one of their big play receivers. Wright has 34 catches, 696 yards, and 10 touchdowns. Coach was telling me a story about Wright. He dropped a pass last week against Warren. When they got back to Robinson, he went inside to the indoor facility, wanted to catch 100 passes. But he said he wasn't going to drop any more. Never again. That's Cleveland with it. He just keeps it, goes up the middle. He's tackled by DeJarnett.
This is a great job of establishing things up front, but Cleveland slips the first would-be tackler and able to pick up 3 or 4 and make it that 3rd and medium type.
3rd and 6. Saints want to get their defense off the field. Comes a receiver in motion. That's Ja'Kyson Wright. Cleveland scrambling up the middle, trying to pick up the first down. He does. Move the chains. Ball to the 45-yard line. Quick scramble up the middle from Cleveland before Cooper Darr could bring him down.
And Cleveland hasn't run the football too many times this year. 59 rushing attempts for just 327 yards, but back-to-back plays, the legs of the quarterback help keep the Robinson offense on the field.
Searcy in the backfield with Cleveland. Searcy with it. He's got 5. He's got 8. give him, 8 yards on first down. Robinson will take that.
Yeah, they're winning the battle at the line of scrimmage, West. That offensive line that's generated huge chunks of yardage in the running game. How about 2,800 yards rushing this year, over 200 per contest for Robinson? You're starting to see why.
Jarnett with another tackle for Shiloh Christian. Hard count for Cleveland. Shiloh does not jump. That's Freeman in the ball game. Freeman has the first down and more. He splits one safety, has one man to beat. Cleveland to the end zone. Touchdown, Senators. Big time run from the backup running back. He goes 47 yards for the score. Noah Freeman, welcome to the game.
What a burst by Noah Freeman. He gets to that next level, makes a great cut to the outside, and just shows off the speed. And that offensive line starting to do big-time work for Robinson. And Shiloh Christian's going to have to make an adjustment defensively, Wes. They're only going 3 down linemen, just 2 linebackers. They're going to have to get more bodies in the box. Otherwise, Robinson's going to have a field day in the rushing attack.
Alex Gabriel on for the extra point. Kick is up. Kick is good. 14-0 Senators over the Saints. I've shot several Joe T. Robinson games this fall, and I've seen Noah Freeman, and it always seemed like a short yardage situation. And I looked, and he had 11 touchdowns coming into the game. And I was speaking with Coach Escola this week. I said, is Freeman kind of your big back, your short yardage guy? And he said, no, he's actually smaller than Darryl Searcy. He's just waiting his turn. That was his quote. He said he's only a junior, Searcy is a senior, and Freeman would be starting for most teams across the state. He said he's that good. We feel like we have 2 starters. But he said we have unselfish guys. He said so many times Searcy has run the ball down to what you're seeing the goal line, to the 5-yard line, and he'll tap his helmet, say he needs a breather, and so we'll stick in Freeman, and he finishes off the drive, and he's getting a lot of touchdowns that you're seeing on TV in short yardage situations. But
that's a nice luxury to have when you've got a guy with 11 touchdowns. He's like, nope, he's just not quite as good as the other guy.
And you're going to see a lot of the Robinson offensive players on defense, and they go both ways. But Coach says they like to substitute a lot. They'll substitute Freeland. He says that goes back to the unselfishness. When you get tired, come out of the game, we got somebody else that will come in for you. So they try to spell on offense and defense. High kickoff once again. Saints get it on the 30. The ball's on the turf. They quickly recover it. They'll take over on about the 33-yard line.
If you're Shiloh Christian, you've got to settle in here. I mean, sure, it's 14-0, but it's a lot of time left. It's still first quarter. Plenty of time to get back into this contest. Try to maybe establish that run game. You've got to slow down the pass rush of Robinson. They just pinned their ears back on that last possession and came after Eli Wisdom. Try to get something going, maybe the screen game or the rushing attack to slow that penetration down up front.
Saints trying to get on the board. Their 3rd drive. Wisdom brings Henley in motion. He's going to line up as a tight end. They'll hand it off to Baker. Baker picks his way and finds some room to run, but he's brought down quickly by Anthony Freeman. Freeman comes up from his safety spot to make the tackle after a 5-yard gain.
Nice job to show a little patience there by Baker. The hole was kind of congested, so he bounces to the left side and picks up 5 yards.
Little cutback lane he found there. Baker again. Baker hit right around the line of scrimmage. He'll fight forward for 2. That'll bring up 3rd and 3. Micah Pennington there to make the stop.
We haven't seen Eli Wisdom try to use his legs just yet, but maybe on 3rd and 3, maybe an option read, try to give your quarterback the ability or the option to try to make a play with his legs.
Saints need to get to the 44-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 3. Still plenty of time on the play clock. We're just now at 15. Wisdom with Baker to his right. He brings Henley in motion. Robinson with a little penetration. Baker trying to get it, and there's nothing there. He got maybe a yard. That'll bring up 4th and 2. The Senators did a good job of just pushing it out. Zach Wofford makes the tackle.
No hesitation. Shiloh Christian going to go for it here on 4th down, but Baker was trying to find a hole on that left side, kept bouncing it outside, and Robinson just did not allow a crease for him to cut up into.
Wisdom looking over at the sideline. 15 on the play clock. He's got Henley in the backfield with him, the big back. Senators look like they're coming. Wisdom to the outside. Wisdom picks his way, finds enough yards to pick up the first down.
It came a play after that I expected, but you've got to find a way to use Wisdom in the run game. He's too dynamic as a runner. So sideline for him for too long. Over 1,000 yards rushing this season, 18 touchdowns.
Saints trying to pick up the pace. They get that first down. They want to get going. They'll send Cooper Hutchinson in motion. Empty backfield. Wisdom looking to throw. Little pressure coming now. More pressure coming. Wisdom running for his life. Stiff arm. Throws it to the sideline. Did he catch it? Nope, out of bounds.
Yeah, and the key there, even they weren't able to take advantage on that passing play, West, is if you go no huddle, it keeps those defenders on the field. You mentioned how much Robinson likes to substitute. Maybe you start to wear down that Senator defense.
Once again, pressure on Wisdom. It seems like every time he's gone back to throw, even on the completed pass, he had pressure. That big completion they had in their first drive of the game. 2 minutes, 1 second to go in the first quarter. Wisdom, quick pass out to the right. There was a Senator there. Did he catch it? He caught it, but they're going to lose yard. Nope, now they're going to say incomplete. Ball hit the ground. They were looking for Baker, but that was BG, Brandon Grill, there to break it up and really take some focus off the receiver when he flashed in there.
It's kind of short-armed it there, did Wisdom. Didn't get enough on it. And it might have been a close catch, but actually a break for Shiloh. It was ruled incomplete because he would have lost 4 or 5 yards.
3rd and 10. They got to cross midfield and get the ball to the Joe T 44. Wisdom wants to pass. He's got a receiver breaking across the middle, and is it almost picked off?
That time Wisdom had protection. I think the internal clock might have been ticking a little faster because he's been hit so many times already in this first quarter. He had a receiver breaking open on a deep route, but unloaded that one early, throws it into double coverage, and luckily that one wasn't picked off.
A.J. Owens almost picked it off. We both saw Jacob Solomon breaking free. I thought he was going to throw it, put some air under it, and let Solomon run under it. So Caleb Anderson's back on to punt. Joe T sends back. Chase Nichols. Nichols not going to get to return it. Short, rolling. Now Nichols picks it up. Nichols stops it from rolling. I think that's a smart play. I always like it. I mean, he could have let that roll, and I think the Saints could have downed it inside the 5, but he picks it up and gets a few yards before Bo Williams brings him down.
Yeah, you're looking at a punt that's down inside the 10, if not the 5, and a great job just to field that punt. He got a nice hop right into his chest and able to advance it 5, 6, 7 yards. The return's really not the point of that. You limit the damage on the roll.
Well, they're going to start at the 23 and very easily could have been starting on their own 3, and that frees you up to call anything you want to. So Cleveland, it's like Searcy's in there with him. Searcy picking his way, breaks a tackle, gets over the right side, and Searcy makes something out of nothing once again.
Well, Shiloh Christian made the adjustment there, brought in an extra defensive lineman, had it stacked up at the point of attack, but Searcy just shows the patience, shows the athleticism, bounces it outside, and picks up 10 or 11 more and moves the chains.
Then Baker on the tackle for Shiloh Christian. Coach Escola said that Daryl Searcy Jr. is playing his best football. In fact, he was raving about the practice he had on Tuesday.
Shiloh showing pressure.
Cleveland wants to throw. He's going to get rid of it. Looking deep down the field. He's got a receiver open. It is caught, and that's going to be a touchdown for Joe T. Robinson. Brandon Grill comes in and makes the big-time catch. Grill goes 65 yards, and the Senators are up 20-0.
Shiloh Christian was trying to bring a little extra pressure, expecting the run, and Joe T just goes big ball, and Grill just finds nobody there defensively and had 195 yards receiving on the season, but you mentioned it right there, 65 on that play, and Robinson's got a 3-touchdown lead here in the first.
Alex Gabriel is on to attempt the extra point. Just a great pass from Cleveland on the money. The extra point is good. It's 21-0. Senators over the Saints.
Yeah, It seems like a long time ago, but how big is that fumble now on the goal line for Shiloh Christian? You're 6 inches away from taking a 7-0 lead, and just like that, the explosive offense for Robinson has found the end zone 3 times, and Shiloh hasn't been down like this all season long. Only have the one loss to Sand Springs, a 6A school from Oklahoma, and they had a lead in the fourth quarter in that game. So Shiloh's got to settle down and collect themselves. Otherwise, this one's going to get away from it in the first half.
Momentum's big in all sports, but it just seems in football, just how it can snowball. Heck, I was watching the NFL game on Monday night. It was Thursday night. The Steelers were playing. You know, they were down 29-0, and I thought, well, this game's over. And all of a sudden, Big Ben got going. They got a little momentum, and they got right back in the game. And you're just like, how does that happen? How does momentum mean so much? Well, it just does. And then you take it to a lower level with kids like this, that momentum, that energy, they can just ride that momentum. And that's what you're seeing right now with the Senators. After that fumble, they've got a little something going right now.
Success breeds confidence, Wes. And so you get something to go your way, you're starting to believe in, okay, we can do this, 2 times, 3 times. We can do it for a series. Now we can do it for a quarter. Now Shiloh Christian just needs to get something to go their way, whether it's on the special teams or on offense, whatever the case may be. They've got to get something to go their way. Maybe it's a big play with the quarterback run game, whatever the case may be. Get something to go your way, start to chip into this lead, and maybe that momentum will start to slow down for Robinson and start to trickle back your direction.
Bodie Neal just made a huge play. That ball was loose, and Bodie Neal alertly jumps on it and recovers it for the Saints. There were a couple of Senators just jetting down the field hoping to recover that ball.
Celebrate game day under the arches. You can access tons of benefits through our rewards program. It's available today on the McDonald's app. We're loving it.
Well, we saw Harding Academy have a rough first half, and we talked about champions. They know what it takes. They know how to come back. Well, the same thing's with the Saints. They know what it takes to come back and just start chipping away, and it all starts with getting a couple of first downs. And that's what they're going to try to do right now. Kirby Owens, that's KJ on the tackle for the Senators.
And Bo Williams trying to change the pace, the different running back, 48 carries. He's got 10 touchdowns. Just looking for anybody to provide you a spark if you're Shiloh.
Henley back there now. Wisdom's going to run it. Wisdom knocked out of bounds. He's knocked sideways by KJ Owens.
Yeah, it looked like there might have been a running lane there for Wisdom on the outside, but Owens quickly closes ground and gets a tackle for loss.
Comes up from that safety position, and watch him just there. He comes, just 2, bam. Full head of steam, makes the tackle. You see Coach Maupin, the defensive coordinator, there on the sideline. He's excited. He's got his defense playing well right now. 3rd and 8. Saints need a first down.
Quarter.
That's the end of the quarter. All Joe T in the first quarter. They are up 21-0 in the 4A state championship game. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Riggs Rents, Arkansas's rental equipment provider, from aerial lifts to dirt moving machines and everything in between. Our family-owned and operated business takes pride in serving our employees and customers. Riggs Rents, a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports.
Farmers and Merchants Bank and the Bank of Fayetteville share the mission of Arkansas PBS to enrich and empower all Arkansans. Community, dignity, respect. That's what Me Banking is all about. More at mebanking.com.
Local broadcast of Arkansas PBS programming is made possible in part by Community Bakery. Scratch-made breads, pastries, cakes, treats, and locally roasted coffees. Served daily at 2 locations in Little Rock, 1200 Main and 270 Shackelford.
See what's airing this holiday season on Arkansas PBS. Just download a schedule at myarpbs.org/schedule.
3rd and 8. Saints need a first down. Receiver goes in motion. That's Solomon. Wisdom rolls right. Looking for Solomon. Got Solomon.
Great throw on the run.
Good catch. Big first down.
Big first down. They roll Wisdom to the right. They move the pocket. They kind of move that launching point for the defensive line. They get Henley out in front, and a great job by Solomon to go down and make a play sliding to a knee, and a much-needed first down.
Now rolls left, moving the pocket once again. Almost picked off. He threw it behind his receiver that time. And Joe T's Ashton Williams, their linebacker, who leads the team in tackles, had a chance. Coach says he is a stud. He called this junior a Division I prospect. He said if he was a couple inches taller, everybody would want him. But, of course, you know how it is with some of the Power 5, size matters. But he believes this guy will be playing on Saturdays at some level. 2nd and 10. Wisdom across the middle, has a receiver open. Ball's loose. Senators have it. They want some more. Kyson Wright returns it to the 49-yard line of the Saints. They completed the pass, and then BG, Brandon Grill, another big play, knocks it loose.
It's just the story of this first half for Shiloh. You think they're getting something going. They hit their leading receiver, Hutchinson, on a little shallow slant route. He makes the play, makes the football move, and just knocks the ball loose. And now Robinson got the ball plus territory and got a chance to really pile it on here and take a potentially 4-score lead.
That was a great look at it. Hutchinson caught it, took a couple of steps, so makes the football move. Then ball comes out, Wright picks it up. Second turnover of the game for the Saints.
And normally this is where you say stop the bleeding, but you've got to stop the hemorrhaging right now if you're the Saints.
Quick pass out to Wright. Wright looking to make another big play. Takes it down to about the 42-yard line. I'm sorry, that's not number 1. That was number 7, Zach Wofford. Luke Slider brings him down. 2nd and 3. Maybe 4, 3.5, 4.
Take what the defense gave you there. Shiloh Christian showed they were dropping deep into his zone. So just take the safety valve there, pick up 6 yards, and stay in front of the chains.
Cleveland has Searcy next to him. We'll give it to Searcy. Searcy over the left side has one blocker, splits to the 2 defenders. He picks up the first down. We'll mark him down at the 37-yard line.
They just seem to be able to pick up 5, 6, 7 yards anytime they want to. Searcy averaging 7 yards a tote so far today, averaging more than 8.5 yards on the season.
Cleveland in shotgun. Now he'll look back over to Coach Escola. Hand it off to up the middle. That was Freeman. Freeman's in for Searcy. That's going to hurt Freeman's average. He was averaging 17.7 yards per carry after that long run of 46. He was only able to pick up a couple yards on that play.
We're already starting to see Shiloh Christian trying to tackle the football, trying to get it out, try to create some kind of momentum for their defense.
I said he only picked up a couple of yards. This shows you the line push that they're getting. He didn't have anywhere to go. He picked up 4 yards.
They're dominating the line of scrimmage right now.
Cleveland's looking to pass. Looks like that ball came out funny out of his hand. Something happened there. He short-hopped his receiver.
What Shiloh Christian's doing, they've got a light box. They only had 6 in the box right there. You're talking 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and one of those linebackers was really spread out wide, and that just gives you a numbers game. If you're the offensive line for Robinson, you're seeing that, and you trust your guys to just go one-on-one and win the battle up front against Shiloh. I mean, those are running-type situations that more times than not are going to be successful for the Senators.
3rd and 6. You saw Coach Escola. I'm sure this is 4 down territory if they don't get it here. He gives it to his back. He dances over there. Let's see where they mark him out of bounds. It's close to the first down marker. Searcy, was he able to pick up the first down? I think he's going to be just short. He was pushed out of bounds by Ben Baker. That was running back on running back, right? It was good ball fake. It faked me. I wasn't sure who had it. And for a second, I thought Cleveland captain was looking to pass. They're going to mark him short of the first down, so it's 4th and 1.
Shiloh Christian's got 6 in the box. Another linebacker walking up now, so
got the big
simple numbers game and
got a flag.
Before the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
That's a big penalty there. Now you can't just automatically rely on your run game to pick up 6 yards.
I was about to point out they had a big Marion Harris at left tackle. They lined up the tight end right behind him, like we saw on that goal line. Thought maybe they're going to try to do that same thing, just go over that left side, power their way for 1 yard. Now it's totally different play. 4th down and 6. Ball's on the 33. Really need to get to outside the 27, about 27.5-yard line. Cleveland hands it off. Going to be a pass, halfback pass. He's got a receiver, and he makes a catch, a leaping catch made by Zach Wofford.
The defense saw a run. They immediately broke up, and Searcy pulls out the trick play, hits his receiver. He had to climb the ladder to make that play, but it shows you how important this drive is to Coach Niscola and company. They know if they go up 4 scores, it's going to be really, really tough for Shiloh Christian to come back from that.
Joe T's very confident in their defense. They feel like you give them a 4-score lead. They're sitting well. Cleveland's wanting it all here. Throws in the corner of the end zone. It is caught by Wofford again. Back-to-back catches for Wofford, and that is touchdown Robinson.
Just created separation from the defensive back at the top of the screen, and a great job by Robinson and a great throw by Jack Cleveland, and it hits his man, and it goes up and elevates for the catch, gets a foot down, and Robinson about to take a 28-0 lead.
Apologies to KJ Owens and his family. That was not Wofford, that was Owens. The uniforms got me. It's so hard to see these uniforms, that white and gold, just the 2 and the 7. That's I think the second time I've missed the numerals, but KJ Owens with the grab, and it is 28-0 Joe T. Robinson with 9 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the second quarter. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Hi, I'm Susie Everett, wishing you and your family a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday Season. With our busy lives today, we often forget the greatest gift of Christmas. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. I hope all of us will take the time and share the love of Christ this season. May your holidays be filled with joy and blessings. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us at Everett.
Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about? We need a Christmas tree.
A great, big, shiny aluminum Christmas tree. That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown.
Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown!
Gather the family for the must-see Christmas classic, A Charlie Brown Christmas. That's Sunday, December 19th at 6:30, only on Arkansas PBS.
28-0 Joe T. Robinson over Shiloh Christian. Joe T. Robinson now with 274 yards of offense, 140 passing, 134 rushing. It has been a dominant performance, and of course their defense pitching the shutout. Their defense has forced 2 turnovers, and they have all the momentum. They are rolling right now. Shiloh Christian needing something big on this drive. High pooch kick again. It's going to be fielded at the 35-yard line. Not a lot there for Shiloh Christian, and they'll be Bodie Neal's knocked down about the 37-yard line. Ashton Williams there, one of the many Senators, making the tackle. Anthony Freeman there also. You see clearly that Robinson, they're not going to kick it deep here. They're going to do the pooch kick right around the 35-yard line. They've done that now 4 or 5 times. And
kick return yards, what maybe combined 15 yards on the 4 kickoff attempts.
Yes. See what Wisdom and the Saints can do. Desperately need to get going here. Solomon in motion. He'll hand it off to Henley. Henley keeps going. That's a first down and more. That gets the Saints fans on their feet. That gives them something to cheer about. The sideline raises their hands. Chase Nichols makes the tackle. Henley, the big back, the future Razorback, a linebacker, but he also plays running back.
Nice job to keep his balance there. Hurdles through one defender.
Saints quickly up to the line of scrimmage. Wisdom. He runs it. He picks up 4 on first down.
This is when Shiloh Christian's at its most effective. Is when they pick up the pace. They go no huddle, and they start hitting you from every which direction. They go Henley, they go quarterback run, and now let's see if they can get the passing game going.
Got to try something. They got to pick up the tempo, do something a little different. Micah Pennington with that tackle. 2nd and 6. Slow it down here. Still 20 seconds on the play clock, so no rush. Main thing for them is they have to get some points.
They've got to put it in the end zone. There's no doubt about that.
Baker, bank it to Baker. Wisdom keeps it. He fights forward. He'll pick up 3. Pennington on the stop again. Back-to-back tackles for him. 3rd and 3. No doubt this is 4 down territory.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Barring a penalty or significant loss here, you got to believe Shiloh's going to have 2 plays to pick up these 3 yards.
Wisdom and Baker. Baker has it. Baker, he has the first down. He fights forward to the 35-yard line. KJ Owens brings him down.
For the Saints, that's all you got to do. Just continue to trust your running game. I mean, your offense is going to be able to score, be able to put up some points.
Picking up the pace. It's Baker with it over the right side. He's in trouble this time. He's thrown for a loss. 3 Senators there to knock him down. KJ Owens again.
Nice job by Owens again. They're doing a really good job of setting the edge and making Shiloh Christian try to bounce it out. And that team speed on the defensive side for Robinson's really preventing Shiloh from getting to that outside and picking up extra yardage.
See that team speed. Wisdom brings Solomon in motion. Wisdom back to pass. Looking deep. A little contact there. I think it just really their feet got tangled up. You saw the defensive back for the Senators. I hate to say it was Wofford because I can't see the numeral very well up here. But he saw the ball in the air, and he just goes for it. He's going to pick it off, and when he did, he clipped the feet of the receiver. And it wasn't Wofford. It was KJ Owens. 2-7-1. I can't see up here, but
he's got as much right to the football as the receiver does, and I think that's incidental contact and a good no call.
3rd and 13. May have an offsides. No, he timed it perfect, but they have a receiver open. And he's going to pick up the first down. Big play for the Saints. They needed that. Bodie Neal just wide open, sat down in the zone and found a spot, and Wisdom saw him.
It's a great job of Neal. He just kind of hooks in there, and he kind of just slides to his left ever so slightly, finds the hole in the zone, gives his quarterback a lane to throw the football.
Saints quickly back with it to the 15. Picks up 4 on first down. That was Baker on the run. 6.5 minutes to go in the half. Saints with their second best drive of the game. Their first drive made it all the way to the 1 before they fumbled it. Henley in the backfield with Wisdom. Wisdom's going to pass it to Henley. He's got a blocker out there. The big back brought down. That was a good play by Ashton Williams.
And a nice job to recognize that. And he's kind of that trail defender. They had a lineman out in front. And if Williams doesn't make that play from coming from the side, that may be a big play. A blocker out in front and a full head of steam for Henley would have been tough to slow down.
Goes for the legs, grabs the ankle, holds on, and brings down the big back.
Yeah, you're not going to bring down Henley if you hit him around the shoulders. So you got to get him around the thigh to shin area and try to do everything you can to get him on the ground.
3rd and 5, Wisdom. He's going to keep it. Goes over the right side. He's going to be short of the first down. He had Henley leading the way for him.
I think that was another case of it's clear 4 down territory for Shiloh Christian. So you're just kind of trying to cut that 4th and 5 into something a little more manageable, and give credit to Robinson's defense. Again, they're not giving a whole lot up in the run game.
Micah Pennington on the tackle again. We've called his name a lot so far in the first half. 4th down and 3. Looks like they need to make it to the 9-yard line to get that first down. Wisdom and Baker in the backfield. They're going to call timeout. Saints, they want to talk about it, make sure they got the right play call. This is a huge down.
It is. This is. It's too early. There's still a whole half of football left and 5 minutes left in this first. But I mean, it kind of feels like if they don't score here and they give Robinson the ball back, a chance to add to a 28-0 lead, it could be over. I mean, 28-7. You feel like, okay, 3 possessions and a half. That's easily done. But the way the Robinson offense has been clicking on all cylinders and scored every time they've had it today, I believe. So you got to find a way to put the ball in the end zone first to start chipping away, but you've got to also make some adjustments on the other side of the football.
Well, we know Shiloh can score. They can put up some points in a hurry, so they're not out of this game. But here's the thing you worry about if you're the Saints. If you don't get this first down and Joe T gets the ball, marches down, uses up that 5 minutes, and they score a touchdown, it's 35-0. The sportsmanship rule begins, and that clock is running continuously in the second half.
And Robinson gets the ball to start the third quarter to make matters a little worse. Coming up next on the Arkansas PBS Halftime Show, you can join David Basil for a conversation with Greg Hatcher, president of the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame. We'll learn about a new high school football team in the state, and we're going to meet Caden Henley, a linebacker and future Razorback of the Shiloh Christian Saints. All that's coming up on the PBS Halftime Show.
Here we go, 4th down and 3. The big back, Caden Henley. He's in the backfield with Wisdom. Wisdom rolling to his left, throws, and it's short. No flags. Robinson takes over.
That was the look I think you want if you're Shiloh Christian. They had the corner out, had plenty of real estate to lay it out there in front of, I believe it was Solomon on that corner route, but to see if Wisdom got hit or the ball slipped out, it just came out of his hand funny. I mean, he had his receiver in the end zone, and the ball just did not come off the hand of Wisdom properly, and now it's worst case scenario for Shiloh Christian as the Saints have a chance to add to this already huge lead.
The Senators have been doing a great job of timing up that cadence in the snap, and a couple times I thought maybe they were going to be offsides. Hand up, but they weren't offsides. Hand off up the middle, nothing there, no gain on the play.
Great job by Bo Williams to time it up. Speaking of timing up the snap, he came off the edge and able to shut down the Robinson running game for the first time of maybe all afternoon or evening. We've been able to say that's a no gain.
Williams trying to give his team a spark. He was looking over at the sideline trying to encourage them. Senator 2nd and 10. Ball's on the 12. 88 yards to go, 4.5 minutes in the half. Cleveland to throw, escapes the pocket. Now he scrambles out to his right. Cleveland brought down. That's Henley on the play. Give Henley a sack.
That is great closing speed for the future Razorback. He saw the play breaking down. He saw Cleveland kind of start to roll to his right, and you're going to see him like a blur from the right side of your screen is come in and make a play, and now a huge third down opportunity for the Shiloh defense to get the ball back to your offense and potentially put some points on the board before the half.
This will be a big-time stop by the Saints defense. Robinson taking their time now. 15 seconds on the play clock. 3rd and 13. Cleveland has Noah Freeman next to him. Freeman picks up the blitzer, gets the pass out, and it's caught. The receiver steps out of bounds right around the 23. That's going to be close to the first down. He has the first down. Dax Widger brings down the receiver, Zach Wofford, but that is a huge play for Robinson.
That is a great route to get beyond the sticks, be able to come back just a yard, but the protection and the way that Cleveland feels the pressure from his right side to be able to step up just ever so slightly and gets a first down, a huge first down for Robinson. And the flag comes flying in from behind this play.
We'll check the flag. The way they threw it, it's holding.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
See if the Saints defense can use that penalty to force a punt, get a stop. They'll mark it down at the 15-yard line. They need to move it all the way out to the 33.
First and 18.
Clock is running, 3:09 in the half. Robinson doesn't seem to be in too big of a hurry. Cleveland. He's got Searcy in the backfield. He's going deep. He's got a receiver at the 50 and off the hands of his receiver. Almost a great throw and a great catch.
Starting to see Shiloh Christian bring a little pressure that time on the delay blitz. Henley came in and just Cleveland able to get rid of it. And that one just out of the outreached hands of his receiver. That was almost a big-time throw and catch.
This is Brandon Grill again. Grill had the big catch in the first quarter and almost came up with another big catch.
They're having success running by the Shiloh defenders. You know, that's what's so dangerous. They've got that speed on the outside. You've got to either play off as a defense and allow everything underneath, or try to go man-to-man and risk them running by you.
5 seconds on the play clock. They're going to have to pick up the pace, and they're not going to get this off. 2 seconds, 1 second they're not, and I see Coach Escola running over to call a timeout.
That is their first timeout of the half.
Got the timeout, so it'll be 2nd and 18. After the holding call, I wondered maybe if Joe T was going to slow it down and just milk the clock and go in with the 28-0 lead. And then they throw it deep to BG and try to get the first down and a whole lot more.
Just trying to get it all back in one play, and 2 or 3 inches here, maybe a little wind gust into their face, they would have been able to make a big play. But Shiloh catches that break, but they've got to find a way to get another 2 stops here defensively.
Taking a look at some of the first half stats, Jack Cleveland is 5 of 8 passing, 131 yards and 2 touchdowns. Daryl Searcy has run the ball 9 times, 62 yards. He has 1 touchdown. Noah Freeman, 5 carries, 57 yards. He has a touchdown. Receiving for Robinson, Zach Wofford, 4 catches, 78 yards. Brandon Grill, 1 catch, 65 yards. Kirby Owens, 1 catch, 11 yards. And Jakaisen Wright, who came in as one of their most explosive receivers, has not caught a pass yet. They're up 28-0.
Following the timeout, 2nd down, 18 yards to go.
2nd and 18. Cleveland looking back over at Coach Escola. He's got the signal. 10 on the play clock. Searcy in the backfield. Fake it to Searcy, throws it out to the left. Still on his feet, dancing around.
A lot happening for a 2-yard gain.
Bodie Neal brings him down.
I want to give special thanks to Community Bakery for providing food for our crew and their continued support of Arkansas PBS.
Shiloh Christian calls timeout. They want to get the ball back.
That's a good use of a timeout. Now you've got them backed up, 3rd and long. You've got a quick strike offense. 2.5 minutes is plenty of time if you're the Saints. It's all going to come down to this play. This is a huge, huge play coming up for the Shiloh defense. Can they prevent a 3rd and 15 ahead for the Robinson Senators?
Take a look at that Saints defensive huddle. The paint worn off of that helmet. You think that Brent Gwatney hasn't been into some collisions. Love those shiny gold helmets for Shiloh Christian.
It's a classic look. No need to change it. We got a chance for a classic showdown tomorrow.
We thought this was going to be the last game of the season. But then last night the weather hit and forced the postponement of the 2A title game. So we'll be back here tomorrow afternoon at 2:30 for the 2A state finals. Fordyce and McCrory. Fordyce looking to go back to back to back. 3rd and long. Cleveland looking to pass. Cleveland scrambling to his left. He's going to throw it. The ball's tipped. It falls to the turf. So the Saints get the hold.
That started with the coverage. They were trying to get the wheel route to the near side for Joe T. Robinson, and Shiloh Christian covered that, forced the quarterback to go back to his second or third read, forced to the left, and great pursuit. Looks like 31 got a hand on the football. It's Hudson Ball, freshman, and they've got high hopes for him. The future is certainly going to be bright for Hudson Ball.
Hudson Ball's brother, Jackson Ball, is a senior, a right guard on the team, and Hudson's been playing, brought the freshman up, and he said he has been very impressive. Not a starter, but he's getting a lot of snaps. Snap is low. Punter does a great job of getting it off.
He went down to a knee to field that snap, and that's going to give Shiloh Christian the ball inside the 10.
Good catch there, Bobby. That's why the whistles. I heard the whistles, and I couldn't understand why they were blowing the play dead, and now you see why.
Landon Trusty, the head official, all on top of that. As he saw the punter go to a knee, picks up the football, it's immediately blown dead, and Shiloh Christian, their defense gets a much-needed stop, and now their offense is in prime position to cut into this lead.
Take a look at it again. Low snap, and the punter goes down to field. Ooh, they may want to review that. That knee may have been back up by the time he caught it.
Yeah.
That's close.
The question is, since they blew it dead, you can't say the punt got away, so maybe because the whistle came out, after that, the way the play calls on the
inverted whistle.
Yeah.
Here's one more angle. We'll see. Check and see when he has it and the knee's down.
It's close.
It is close.
Yep.
Anyway, Shiloh's got it, and now there's a flag down.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty. It's first down.
I think it's one of those, they went back and reviewed it, and we looked at it twice, and it was so hard to tell unless they had a frozen, frame by frame. That would be tough to overturn.
Yeah, but I believe the whistle, since it came in, it'd be hard to change the ruling on the field. And Shiloh Christian shot a toe off there as they move early.
Wisdom rolling. Wisdom met in the backfield, and he's slung to the ground. The Senators with another tackle for a loss. This time it's Austin Porter. Coach said Porter was just a scrawny kid, but just kept plugging away, and now he's on that defensive line making a big play for the Senators in the state championship game.
Already 5 stops for a loss for this Robinson defense in the first half. They're averaging upwards of 17 yards or 17 tackles for a loss a game, and you're starting to see why. And Shiloh's offense is averaging 46 points and 430 yards of offense.
Shiloh had a 1st and goal on the 5. Now they're second to blow it dead again. I think, Joe T called timeout.
This is their second timeout of the half.
Let's head down to the sideline. Let's check in. We haven't heard from Kyle in a while. Kyle, what's going on?
Guys, a lot of excitement on this Robinson sideline, and then look across, and, like you guys said, Shiloh, they're not the state champions for no reason. They're certainly not out, as we saw earlier today, and so a lot of excitement, as I said, right over here with Robinson, but this definitely not over when you got a whole second half left to play.
Thank you, Kyle. 2nd and 15. Had a 5-yard penalty on first down. Then they lost 5 yards on the tackle for a loss. So all of a sudden, it's 2nd and goal from the 15. You had that big play on special teams, and you thought maybe some momentum going Shiloh's way. They get the big defensive stop, and they get the bad snap, take advantage of it. Maybe all of a sudden you go in 28-7 at the half, and it's been a terrible half, but at least you have a little momentum going into the locker room. This is an important couple of downs for Shiloh Christian.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you've got to be able to take advantage. This Robinson defense has only given up 140 points or so in the last 12 games. So you've got to find a way to take advantage when you can.
Wisdom rolling right. He's looking to pass. He gets it off. Has a receiver. He makes the catch inside the 10-yard line. That was Hutchinson on the catch. Wofford brings him down.
Let's say his forward momentum was stopped at the 7, so you get half of it back there on 2nd down. Clock's going to continue to run. If you're Shiloh Christian, 1, you want to score, but 2, maybe not leave much time for Robinson to answer before the halftime bell.
3rd and goal. Wisdom rolling left. Looking. Those near the end zone is picked off. The Senators go down inside the end zone. Another big turnover, big play by the Senators. Anthony Freeman with the interception. That's his second of the year. The first one was a pick six, but this one even bigger.
It's the second time Wisdom is trying to get the ball to the corner of the end zone and is undershot at that time. It was well underthrown behind his receiver. Solomon had the corner. He was open. That's who he's trying to get the football to, but Wisdom could not get enough on that throw. And Robinson gets a huge defensive stop before the half.
The Senators looking to pitch a shutout in the first half. The second turnover that they've gotten in the red zone, one in the end zone, the other one on the 1 yard line, but the fumble was recovered in the end zone. So that's twice now.
Now Robinson's got a chance to add on to it if they choose to do so, but just one timeout at their disposal.
We'll hand it off up the middle to Searcy. Searcy picks up the first down.
You move the chains, you pick up 10, 12 yards at a time, 14 there for Searcy. Clock's going to stop to move the chains. A minute's enough time for the Senators to go down the field and score.
It's just a simple play right up the middle, handoff up the middle. They'll do it again to Searcy. Bottled up this time. Now he's going to bounce it out to this sideline. He stumbles, keeps going, gets out of bounds at the 45. That's another first down.
That's just great effort by Searcy. Bounces it outside. And 25 yards on the last two carries combined. And Robinson out near midfield. And we're just starting to see the talent and the want-to from Searcy. He's pretty impressive. He's over 80 yards in this first half.
Clock is stopped with Searcy getting out of bounds. Of course, he got the first down. Cleveland. He's looking to pass this time. He fakes it. He throws it deep. The receiver just stopped his route, turned around.
That was going to be a stop and go, and the receiver saw the secondary slacking off on him, didn't bite on the play fake, so he was going to sit it down. And the quarterback had already started his motion to throw it downfield, and Cleveland wisely just throws that over everybody's head.
He's looking for Wofford again. 2nd and 10, 42 seconds.
Thought he had one-on-one coverage, but the safety came over the top. Nice job disguising that for Shiloh Christian. And prevents the big play.
Cleveland hands it off. Oh, the Searcy slips. I think the 45-yard line got him.
Yep, 45-yard line gets credit for that tackle. And Robinson will have to hurry it up if they want to try to score, but they may be content with a 28-0 lead.
They don't have to run another play. They're going to, though. I think they're going to take one more shot, see if they can get some yards and maybe throw it in the end zone. They're going to hand it off to Searcy. Searcy just takes it up the middle, and that's going to end the first half. Joe T. Robinson dominant in the first half, 28-0, taking advantage of the Shiloh Christian turnovers. They're going to go to the locker room with a 4-touchdown lead.
It's amazing the momentum shift in this game, Wes. Shiloh Christian takes the opening kickoff, marches right down the field. Looks like they're going to score, but a big defensive play right at the goal line stops it. A 28-0 run for the Senators. And it really has been all Joe T. Robinson in this first half as they've been dominant on both sides of the football since that opening drive.
Let's go down to the sideline and see what Todd Escola has to say.
Todd, you really couldn't have asked for a better first half. What do you tell your guys just to keep up the momentum as you get a break?
Well, last two possessions I wasn't happy with. You know, we had a holding penalty with lazy feet and then had a receiver kind of bust an assignment. So we're trying to be perfect. It's the last test of the year. So we still got some work to do and some corrections, but come up with some big plays on defense.
Thank you, Coach.
You heard Coach say our last test of the year. He explained that they've been testing their guys every Friday night. He said, you know, in school, we all take tests. They're taking tests in English, history, whatever class. Well, we have a test once a week on Friday nights. We prepare, we study for that test each week, and we want to pass that test on Friday nights. He said we have one more test to pass, and that's this state championship game. So far, I'll give Joe T. an A.
That's an A for sure in this first half.
We'll come back with our halftime report. We'll take a look at some stats. Stick around. This is the state championship games on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it. At Big Red Stores, we're always proud to sponsor, support, and partner up with many events and activities throughout the community. Among them, high school championships throughout the state of Arkansas. At Big Red Stores, our team members are always ready to assist you to make your visit with us a pleasant one. And at Big Red Stores, we recognize that none of our support or ability to serve the community is possible without you. That's why at Big Red Stores, you're always the MVP of the Big Red team. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever.
Centennial Bank is committed to you. Since our founding in 1999, we've become one of the nation's most trusted banks by remembering that you come first, by empowering our communities to reach their highest potential through our dedication to local charity, education, and exceptional service, because we are proud to call Arkansas home. Banking with you in mind. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
Back at War Memorial Stadium, it is halftime. Joe T. Robinson with a 28-0 lead over Shiloh Christian. Tell you what, Bobby, back in the booth, Westmore, Bobby Swafford, I never saw this one coming. I thought that if you told me Joe T. Robinson has 28 points, I'd be like, okay, well, Shiloh's got 21. This is going to be a close game, back and forth, back and forth.
We've talked about at the beginning of the game how important turnovers are, those big momentum plays. Shiloh Christian turned it over twice. Joe T. Robinson turned that into 14 points, and I hate to keep harping on that first drive of the game, but how different would this contest feel if Shiloh punches it in on the opening possession of the game? They go up 7-0. All the momentum is on their side. Now the pressure's on Joe T. Robinson, which is, by the way, ace their last 13 tests and 13 straight victories. How do they handle a little adversity falling behind early? Now we don't have to see that. Now we're having to see how is Shiloh Christian handling this adversity, and right now they're not handling it well. Earlier this week I spoke with Todd Escola, head coach at Joe T. Robinson, and we were talking about turnovers. And he gave me a quote, and it was so important, or it stuck out in my mind. I wrote it down, so I wanted to grab my sheet here, so I got it right. He said, quote, "We got to play clean." Mm-hmm. They played clean in the first half, no turnovers. It was Shiloh Christian with 3 turnovers, and that's the difference. And it might have been something they saw on film last week when Arkadelphia was able to score 54 points on Shiloh Christian. Maybe there was a chink in the armor defensively, a defense that's been pretty good all season long, a team that Robinson clearly knows well playing in the same conference. Maybe they're able to replicate some of those same things that Arkadelphia was able to do running the football in the passing game, and that's why they've got 28 points here in the first half, and they're halfway home to a title. Shiloh Christian also had to play Ashdown. That's another team from that 7-4A, so that's some familiar faces, some familiar tape when Joe T looked at that game tape. All right, we'll check in with David Basil. The halftime report's coming up next. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Welcome to the Arkansas PBS Halftime Show, sponsored by the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. I'm your host, David Basil. This is our last one, so let's get right to it. Coming up, how to grow a football team. We'll show you how an Arkansas Delta school is turning a group of young men into a team and even a family from scratch. Then we'll visit with a future Razorback student athlete, Caden Henley of Shiloh Christian. But first, we're here in the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame, the home to countless stories and legends of Arkansas sports, from Jerry Jones to Geese Osby to Hazel Walker. Let's hear from Greg Hatcher, the president for the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame, about this special place. Greg, thanks for being here with us today.
Sure.
Man, listen, I've known you. We go back a long way, and you're pretty specific on what you get involved in. Why did you decide to get involved with the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame?
Well, you know, I've been on lots of boards,
yes,
but this is my favorite and most fun, just because I love sports and I love excellence. And with the Sports Hall of Fame, you're getting to meet the best that there ever was. And you know, I've always loved sports because when you're part of a team, you learn how to be a teammate, which transfers into business and transfers into everything you do. And when you work with somebody who hasn't been a teammate, they don't always get it.
Right.
You know, so, you know, it's just been a pleasure to get to meet all the people. And, you know, our Sports Hall of Fame works as a good team to promote Arkansas heroes from the past.
Do you come in this great facility and do you find something new every time you come in here, or appreciate what you see?
I do, but I think Arkansas needs to know about the facility. You know, this facility can be used for luncheons, for meetings, and it's really inexpensive, and you'll always have plenty of talking points and things for people to do. In fact, at the Hatcher Agency, we're going to have a meeting with our clients and our staff in the next couple months just to show it off.
Well, if anybody knows about sports, it's you. You know, we're covering the high school football championships, and your son Lane was a 4-time state champion. And talk about how important high school sports is in your family.
You know, 5 kids, and they've all played for titles and won titles. But you can't ever take that away, and it's always a part of your life. You know, I think I've talked to Hunter Henry, who played pro, college, and high school, and he said nothing was more important than high school. When you're playing with your high school buddies that are your lifelong friends and you're playing for a championship for your city, there's nothing bigger. And though my kids have all played at the college level, they still would tell you that there's something pretty special about those high school championships. So everybody that's playing today, they got memories that never will go away.
Anything new on the horizon for the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame that's maybe on your agenda to accomplish?
We just want to get the word out, celebrate more. We've had record voting for this year's Sports Hall of Fame. We're going to do some new twists. We've got some championship rings or some Sports Hall of Fame rings that will come out this year for our inductees. And the presidents before have taken it up another level, and we just try to keep growing it. You know, today with video and books and memorabilia, we cannot lose those honorees where we can watch their films for years to come. So we just want to take it all digital where it'll always be there so you can go back and see your favorites.
And what's exciting is that we're watching high school football this week, players who may be in this facility one of these days. So that's an exciting part too. We appreciate you, Greg, for being here. We hope more folks take the opportunity to come explore Arkansas's rich sports history right here. So many great stories. Remember, every great story begins with a first step, though. This year we've seen Kip Delta Collegiate and West Helena take their first steps in building a football program from scratch. Our cameras were on the field tonight. The Blue Hornets faced off against their neighbors, the DeSoto Thunderbirds, for their first scrimmage as a team.
You know, at KIT, we often say one team, one family, team and family. We use all of these different, idioms. It really has to become lived when you think about football. So knowing that this is the first year, it's brand new to our kids. I mean, and when I say brand new, I mean brand new. Knowing that we're about to get ready to walk in and we're going to face a team, DeSoto, who's been playing for a while.
Even though they only been playing for, 2 months, a lot of them just 3 weeks.
You ready?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't really expect nothing. We just gonna go out there and give it our all.
It's gonna be a lot of mistakes, y'all. That don't upset me. It's effort that bothers me.
The fact that this year, right after a pandemic, we were able to start and get these young men involved in this program, and they're going to kind of be our founders of the program, kind of puts us in that position to where we can truly say that we are a viable sports option for Helena, West Helena. Our vision of becoming a real program is coming to light.
All right, linebacker, we flowing to the football, okay? Communicate. Y'all ready? Yes, sir. There we go, 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 go! That was fast. Kickoff return team on me. Everybody that's on kickoff return, everybody else back up. Hey, y'all supposed to be on the 45. Up! Come on!
With other sports, you know, guy can go on a 12-0 run by himself and win the game, right? Football is kind of like that sport to where there is actually no way. You can't do this without a team. But the reason that it's so important for us right now to kind of get this off the ground is because having that 5-year plan in mind, we know now that if we start now with this group of young men, it's only going to continue to get better each year after year.
if at any point, man, we in a situation where things ain't going the way we want it to, you know, we can't convert first downs, we can't move the ball, we can't stop nobody, we fumbling snaps, missing passes, all that. You got to stay calm, because when they look at you, you know, they see a leader, they see somebody they can look up to, somebody they can follow. So my thing is, whatever you do it full speed. I mean, just commit to it, all right? Just commit to it, man. Whatever happens, happens, all right? Let's get it, man.
Go, 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 go.
And once they actually began to play, the crazy part is that it was just like, this is normal for us. The feeling for me and the feeling the way our community came out and supported us in this, I mean, it was like none other. It was just so amazing to just see that many people come out and support something that literally started 3 weeks ago.
At one point, linebacker sitting still, next thing you know, we flowing. Defensive lineman barely coming out the ball, next thing you know, I see you shooting your hand. Those are the small improvements that we need. You just got to bring the effort. I don't care about the scoreboard. All I want us to do is go out there and do us, compete. Give me your best effort. Whether you mess up or not, I can care less. All right, we want to attack and run to the ball, nothing else, okay? Attack, shoot your hand. Once you find that football like we work on, just run to it, okay? As a team, okay? As a team. I mean, I'm proud of it. Let's go, y'all. Let's take it down. Take it down, take it down, take it down. Hands on, hands on. We got guys getting interceptions, taking it back. His men turn around blocking for him. Y'all haven't been playing football for a few weeks, some of y'all a few months, but that's still not a lot of time to prepare for a high school football game. So I'm so proud of you. I swear to God, I'm so proud of you. I couldn't stop smiling at the end of the game because I was just thinking about what it was you just did. You went out there and competed. Team on me, team on me. 1, 2, 3, team! Up and up, down, everybody! I see why coaches don't like you.
Good luck to Kip Delta Collegian as they continue this journey, and here's to them having a full season next year. Okay, let's meet another outstanding student athlete. Caden Henley from Shiloh Christian is gearing up to put on a new red jersey next season. Bobby Swafford caught up with Caden to see what he's learned from his years at Shiloh and how he'll take those lessons on the field with the Razorbacks.
We knew that we had a special football player, and he's one of those that just continually got better and performed week in and week out.
Dad's a high school football coach. He's your position coach. How tough is that for you to not only go out and perform, know that your position coach is, you're going to hear it from him at home, but just to kind of put all that together, but also know, hey, Dad's there for me too. How do you mix all that together?
I mean, it's fun when I'm doing well, but sometimes it can be a little frustrating when I'm doing bad because he's always there and he lets me know. But it's a good thing at the same time.
When you get on the field and you know he's on the sideline, he's always in your ear, is that a motivation for you? Is that a distraction? How do you handle that dynamic on Friday night?
I like it just because having my dad there, and he's a really good coach, and if I'm messing up on something little, he can always tell me and I can correct it in game.
I think just growing up in a family where your dad is a coach, you've got an advantage, and I think he's extremely intuitive. I think he does a great job of knowing what that opponent is going to do.
Obviously, there's a lot more to it than see football, tackle football. You know, what do you do during the week that allows you to be successful on game day?
The biggest thing, and especially Coach Gill and our defensive coaching staff does well, is we try to personnel them by formation. Okay, they're in this formation, it's first down. They like to run this play to the field. Okay, they're on the boundary, they want to run this play to the field. Just little things like that we try to catch up on.
How do you take that information and not get bogged down? Because a lot of people could take that information and regurgitate it to you, but they wouldn't be able to take that information and instantly react to the football. How do you balance that?
I mean, for me, you just have to take advantage of practice. Okay, we're working 3rd and long. Okay, it's 3rd and long, and then you have to take advantage of all the practice reps you get throughout the week, and you have to take advantage of all the meetings and all the film you've watched, or you will, as you said, like not be able to do both.
In your middle linebacker, you want someone that's going to be able to see something, help others align first and foremost, but then react to what the offense is doing. And he's a guy that we get to see week in and week out at practice make those commands, coach up his teammates. And when you've got a guy like that on defense that can really confront and demand his teammates in a way where they respect it, you've got a special player.
You're going to go play for the Razorbacks. You know, that hadn't been done a lot in Northwest Arkansas and the state, to be a linebacker for the Hogs. Obviously, you've spent the last few years watching them on Saturdays. What's it going to mean to put on that Razorback helmet?
I'm excited to go over there. There's nothing like it in the nation, and that's why I want to be a Razorback.
I think it speaks volumes for both him and our school. And so we're extremely excited about his opportunity. We know he's excited, and we can't wait to watch him play for the Hogs.
It's time to wrap up this edition of the Halftime Show and our coverage of the 2021 State Football Finals. I'm David Basil, and it's been my pleasure showcasing the talent and importance of high school sports and football in Arkansas. Sign up for more information on future sports programming at Arkansas PBS at myarpbs.org/sign-up. My thanks to Arkansas PBS and the Arkansas Activities Association for all they've done to share these inspirational stories and exciting games statewide. But we're not done yet. Let's get you back to War Memorial for the conclusion of the 4A championship game on the home of the high school state finals, Arkansas PBS.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Back at War Memorial Stadium, where Joe T. Robinson leads Shiloh Christian 28-0 in the 4A state championship game. Westmore, Bobby Swafford with you. Surprising first half. I think a lot of people are stunned with the score in the first half. We thought this was going to be a close ball game, but instead Joe T's raced out to a 28-point lead.
Any play that mattered, the big plays in that first half, was all about the Senators. They made the plays defensively, they made the big plays on offense, and they took advantage of the opportunities they had. Shiloh didn't, and that's why it's a 28-0 margin.
3 turnovers, big story in this game. All 3 committed by Shiloh Christian. Joe T is taking advantage of those turnovers, and they lead it with 28-0, and they will receive the first half kick. And we expect Shiloh Christian to come out and try an onside kick and try to get that ball. If they don't, Joe T goes down and scores. 35-point lead with the extra point, and we could have the mercy rule invoked in this state championship game. Let's take a look at some of the first half stats, and it's, as you would imagine, dominated by Joe T. Robinson. The thing that sticks out to me, Bobby, is rushing yards. In fact, if you look individually, the quarterback, Eli Wisdom, 8 carries, 0 yards, with a long of 4.
Yeah, for a quarterback and a player who ran for 1,100 yards up to this point in this season, Joe T. Robinson has shut down the running game. They have shut down Eli Wisdom's aspect of the running game and making them a one-dimensional team, and that's when they're able to pin the ears back and come after the quarterback. And that's where a lot of those negative yards have come, is because of sacks.
You were tracking tackles for a loss earlier tonight, and what'd you get down to, 5 at some point? This Joe T. Robinson defense is aggressive.
Yeah, they're making plays, and what they're doing is they're getting a push up front with just their front 4. They're moving that line of scrimmage. As we take a look at the first half stats, they've controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football, and that's why you see that Joe T. has 146 yards on the ground, while Shiloh Christian is yet to crack 50.
That was their big play right there. First play of the game to Hutchinson, and they were able to march on down the field, but fumbled on the 1-yard line. Joe T gets the ball, and that's one of their many big plays to Wofford in the first half. And they get that first score from Darryl Searcy over that left side, Marion Harris and company. There's another one of those tackles for loss. We saw that defense swarming all night.
Yeah, they're moving the line of scrimmage. Here's the big touchdown run by Freeman. I mean, they've made the plays. I mean, it's as simple as that. Shiloh Christian hasn't made the plays. Joe T. Robinson has, and that's why they've got a 28-0 lead. And you add a blown coverage on top of it right there. And life has been pretty good for Jack Cleveland in that Senator offense. And you already mentioned it. If they come out and find a way to get this second half kickoff and go down and score, this second half's going to go down pretty quickly, as the sportsmanship rule could be invoked.
This is one of the few plays by that Shiloh defense. That was Caden Henley firing through there. We saw the halftime interview that you had with Henley, the future Razorback, but looked like he was shot out of a cannon to get that sack right there. They put a couple more minutes on the clock. We got about 2 minutes to go before we kick off the second half. Other stats for you. Receiving for Joe T. Robinson, Zach Wofford leads the way. 4 catches, 78 yards. Kirby Owens, or KJ, has 2 catches for 14 yards, and we just saw that catch he had in the back of the end zone for his touchdown. And Brandon Greel, or BG as they call him, 1 catch for 65 yards. That was a big momentum changer there in the first half that got Joe T., I believe, at that time, their 14th point. That gave him a 2-touchdown lead.
Yeah, they just came out like a cannon to start that contest offensively. 21 first-quarter points, and before Shiloh Christian's defense could settle down, they already had a 3-touchdown deficit, did the Saints, and they're a team that can play from behind, and they score points in bunches. But getting 4 stops in one half against a team as talented as Robinson is going to be a tough ask, and that may be the biggest point. Shiloh Christian can score 28 points. That's not the argument.
Right.
It's can they get enough stops that it's going to matter if they score 28 points?
Yeah, I would caution those who think this is over, or the Joe T. fans who are celebrating a state championship. I know Todd Escola and his coaching staff, they're not celebrating. They know they haven't won anything yet. This Shiloh offense is explosive. I mean, they put up 50, how many points last week against Arkadelphia?
Yeah, 57 against Arkadelphia, and you just pull up the schedule. 48 against Cave City, 56 against Huntsville. You go back to the regular season at 62 Gravitz, 58, 49, 55 against Pea Ridge in the season opener. So, I mean, it's not out of the realm of the possibilities, but can you get enough stops to prevent Robinson from scoring points? Because you want to talk about scoring points, well, this team can do it too. I mean, 56 a couple times, 62 against Nashville, and they're putting up points against perennial powers. You're talking about they blow out Nashville, they blow out Warren last week, score 43 points. I mean, it's the two premier offenses, but Robinson's been the upper echelon of the two, certainly, in the first half tonight.
Well, I have a feeling I know what Todd Escola told his team at the half, because we heard a glimpse when he was talking with Kyle Sutherland just when the half ended. He wasn't happy with their last 2 offensive drives. He wants to score right here and make it 35-0.
He wants to score every time he touches the football. And that's the goal of an offense, and that's the goal of a coaching staff. Put points on the board every opportunity you can. And so when Shiloh's defense started to kind of stiffen there in the half, he's not happy about it. And now we'll see if Shiloh Christian wants to maybe roll the dice and try to get an onside kick, which isn't completely out of their normalcy, as they onside kick a whole lot more than a normal high school does.
Robinson is lined up with their hands team. They have 8 guys within 15. Now 2 guys are dropping back. So they're prepared for that onside kick. We're going to go ahead and kick it deep. It's going to be fielded at about the 11-yard line. The Senators will take it out to about the 27 before they're knocked out of bounds. That was KJ Owens on the return. Maybe the Saints are thinking they don't want to put their defense in a bad spot. If you try the onside kick, Robinson may only have 45, 50 yards to go for a touchdown. They score a touchdown, and, it's only happened once in Arkansas history. A team come back to win when the sportsmanship rule is in effect. And so they're wanting to give their defense a chance to get a stop and then get the offense the ball back.
Yeah, Shiloh Christian's defense made the adjustments in that second quarter, and gave their offense a chance to get back into it. They just couldn't take advantage of it as they start this second half of the 4-man defensive line, but Robinson's still able to muster their way to a 5-yard gain.
Searcy takes it up to about the 30-yard line, gain of 5 on first down. He was finally brought down by Bo Williams. I think you're going to see Joe T. be methodical at times. They don't need to get into any hurry. Low snap. Cleveland's just going to take it. Henley wraps him up about the 31, 32, they'll say the 33-yard line, so still able to get 3 yards, making something out of nothing. It looked a little scary when he had to go down and pick that ball off the turf.
Just a great job of showing a little patience. He finds a slight seam there, but 44 in Navy there to meet him, but not until he gets 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Mark him down at the 32, so they pushed it back a yard. 3rd and 3. Searcy bounces it outside. He's drugged down. Looked like he was going to get the first down, but he was caught from behind. I think Bo Williams got him. Bo was excited.
Big play, tracking him down from behind and drop him just beyond the line of scrimmage. Might have got a half a yard, but a great job defensively. And now we'll see if Robinson, up 28-0, wants to roll the dice. I mean, they're averaging 6 yards a carry in this contest, and now they're 4th and 1. They got to get to the 35.
They don't punt a lot. They're not quite like PA, but they'll punt it if they have to, but they're not punting here, it appears. They're not. Henley makes the stop, and he stopped him in the backfield. Shiloh gets the stop they desperately needed.
Another low snap there, Wes. Might have throw off the timing a little bit, but Henley came downhill. You expect them to run behind Big Marion Harris, and Henley gets back in the backfield and gets the arms around the legs of Searcy and shuts him down before he can get it going. And just like late in that first half, Shiloh Christian's got a chance with great field position, but can they find a hole in this Robinson defense? And more importantly, can they make the plays, as they failed to do so twice in that first half?
Henley shot the gap, was in the backfield, makes the play.
Just the football IQ of Caden Henley is pretty impressive.
Senators turn it over on downs. What can the Saints do? Wisdom looking to pass. Looking across the middle. He's got his receiver across the middle. That's Bo Williams.
This kind of on a skinny post. They threaded the needle between two Senator defenders, and Shiloh Christian's going to pick up the pace.
Look, the pocket. He had room. Stand in the pocket. Williams gets inside the 10. Almost broke it. You saw that Shiloh sideline kind of jump up. They thought he was going to break it.
The football came out, and he's able to corral it, too. Bo Williams almost turned it over.
Campos on the tackle. Saints picking up the pace. Wisdom keeps it. Wisdom into the end zone. Now they're going to mark him down at the 1.
They're picking up the pace. They're going no huddle. They're trying to get the ball snapped before Robinson can even get set, and I'd expect Wisdom straight ahead here.
They're going to give it to Bo. Bo gets in. There you go, Saints. Exactly the way they needed to start the half. They get a 4 and out, and they score.
That's a great start, and that's one of those plays. It's easy for us to sit up here in the booth, Wes, a second guess. Why do you go for it up 28 and risk the possibility of giving Shiloh Christian great field position? Of course, as an offense, your coach Todd Escola, you want to put the game away, and you always have faith in your team. You're averaging 6 yards a carry. We can get a yard. Well, the Shiloh defense rose to the occasion. Now their offense finally takes advantage of it, puts it in the end zone, and we said the game's not over. Now things could get real interesting.
Saints looked at the 2-point conversion. They're going to kick the extra point now. Caleb Anderson on. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and it's good. So the Saints get on the scoreboard. It is 28-7. Stick around. This one's not over yet. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Riggs Rents, Arkansas's rental equipment provider, from aerial lifts to dirt moving machines and everything in between. Our family-owned and operated business takes pride in serving our employees and customers. Riggs Rents, a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports.
Farmers and Merchants Bank and the Bank of Fayetteville share the mission of Arkansas PBS to enrich and empower all Arkansans. Community, dignity, respect. That's what Me Banking is all about. More at mebanking.com.
Local broadcast of Arkansas PBS programming is made possible in part by Community Bakery. Scratch-made breads, pastries, cakes, treats, and locally roasted coffees. Served daily at 2 locations in Little Rock, 1200 Main and 270 Shackelford.
If you love seeing these televised high school championships, please consider making a gift to Arkansas PBS today. And normally, Wes, this is the last one, but we got a bonus one tomorrow.
We get a game tomorrow on a Sunday. High school football on a Sunday. The weather postponed last night's 2A game, and we'll play it. We'll be back here 2:30 tomorrow. Fordyce will be here, and McCrory will be here.
You don't have to waste your Sunday being disappointed by the Cowboys and watch a little 2A high school state championship game.
For the Washington football team, by the time the Cowboys have a good lead, you can flip it on over here. Kickoff by the Saints. Robinson will field it at about the 13-yard line. Senators head over the left sideline. They're out of bounds right around the 27-yard line.
They can make comments like that as my Patriots are off this week and can't lose tomorrow.
How about those Patriots? They're rolling right now.
Well,
got a couple former Razorbacks on that team.
Yeah,
Hunter Henry,
Dietrich
Wise. They've been fun to watch.
Well, future Hogs out here on the field, and one of them made a huge impact. Caden Henley on that last drive, 2 tackles for loss, and jump started this Saint defense, and now they're trying to get back into it.
Searcy with it, and he's met in the backfield once again, and now the Shiloh defense is feeling it. And that time it was Hudson Ball, the freshman defensive end.
What a play, and just a freshman. 6'2", 195, wins the point of attack, gets in the backfield and shows the strong hands, gets a hold of the jersey, slings him down, and guys in navy and gold are starting to feel it. Robinson's got to try to get a spark from their offense.
Cleveland's back to pass. Under a little pressure, escapes the pocket, has a receiver at the 33, up the field. He has a first down out of bounds around the 45-yard line. That's Kirby Owens with the catch. Big first down. Robinson needed that.
That was a big first down, and that was created because Cleveland was able to extend the play, roll out to the right side. That allowed his receiver time to make that long cut from across the field, made some separation from Henley, the linebacker, in coverage, made a nice throw on the move, and Robinson's out near midfield, but more importantly, keeps their offense out there.
Thomas Reese got some penetration. He forced Cleveland to escape the pocket. Cleveland looking to pass again. Dumps it off. The receiver bobbles it. Ball's on the ground. They're saying it's a fumble right now. There's no sign of an incomplete pass. They're calling this a fumble and a Shiloh recovery. Let's make it official. There we go. We will have a review because all turnovers are reviewed.
I think a big reason why they went ahead and called it a fumble on the field is because they know they can go back and review this. We'll have to wait and see if he had possession. Can't see from that angle. If he had possession of it, made a football move before the ball was knocked free, and this one likely going to be reviewed, and we'll see what kind of looks we can get at it.
The previous play is under review.
Cool. I like that. You know, of course, high school officials aren't used to having benefit of review to lean back on. I think the official did a great job of going ahead and say, this is a fumble on the field. Now we can go back and look at it.
It's Jakyson Wright. It's a forward pass.
The ball's moving there before any contact was made. Just couldn't tell if he secured it initially.
See if we have a different look. That's the second look. The first look, we couldn't tell anything. I think this would be a good one. It's out of frame, so we don't see what happens there.
So from those 2 looks, I'm not sure you can overturn it unless there's another angle that we haven't seen just yet. I mean, the ball clearly comes out before contact is made with the defender. It's just, can you tell if he secures the catch before that contact is made. I don't know.
I think that's our best look, and
it's really close. That's and again, this may be the downside of them ruling a completion and a fumble on the field.
Yep.
I'm not sure there's enough there to overturn it.
With the naked eye, when we were watching it live, what did you think?
I thought it was an incomplete pass.
I did too.
In real time, just because the ball came out so quickly.
It looked like he was kind of bobbling it the whole time. He goes out of frame there, so you can't see it.
I thought in real time it was an incomplete pass, but in these instances, and this review is taking longer than any of the 2 weekends, I think, because they want to make sure they get it right. I just don't know if there's enough video evidence to overturn it.
That's our best look right there.
He took a couple steps at it. See if we can see who actually recovered the fumble.
I think it was Henley. I don't think he ever.
That's Nichols there defensively who makes the initial
22 that recovered it. Well, and then it comes loose again.
Yeah.
It is Henley that pops up on it.
There. Yep, he's got it there under the pile, and they're still looking at it. And I think the longer they look at it, the more it benefits Shiloh Christian. But we'll have to wait and see. They've done a nice job of coming down and explaining the ruling afterwards. And this is obviously a massive call. Shiloh's already cut the lead to 28-7, and this would potentially give the Saints the football right at midfield.
I believe, and I want to get clarification from the booth, we've looked at every angle we have, correct? We have. So you've seen every angle inside the stadium with all the cameras that we have.
I don't think you can overturn it, Wes. I mean, whether it's right or wrong, I just don't think there's enough video there to say, okay, it was definitive, which is the key word, that the word they're always looking for.
This is the best angle right here. Has it, takes a step, it's bobbling, comes out.
Because the key word that he brought up to us in the pregame, he goes, as soon as you think it's a play, he goes, you immediately kill it. Because, if you think it's an incomplete pass or you think it's a fumble.
Don't think.
And here's the call.
After review, the ruling on the field has been changed. Incomplete pass, second down Robinson at the -47.
Wow. So I think they got it right. It's just I didn't see the video evidence to prove that it was right. It's just crazy, and it makes absolutely no sense coming out of my mouth. But watching it real time, I thought it was an incomplete pass.
One angle we saw, he has in his hands. He's trying to take a step. Ball's bobbled, comes out. I wasn't sure. Let me say that. I wasn't sure if it was going to be returned, but I do think they got it right.
So it doesn't matter how we get to the conclusion that they got it right, but it's just that they got it right.
2nd and 10. So it was just an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10. Going to hand it off, run it up the middle. Big yards for Searcy. Searcy across the 45. Searcy to the 44. He's close to a first down. That's Caden Henley with another stop.
We saw the surge there. Shiloh Christian went back to a 3-man defensive front. Robinson able to take advantage of it.
They fake it. They try to get the Saints to jump off sides. They're going to switch sides. The defensive ends are switching sides. Third and short. Handed off right up the middle. Great penetration from the offensive line. Searcy gets behind that line, finds a hole, and picks up plenty of yards for the first down.
I think that Shiloh Christian needs to stay with that 4 down front. But they know their personnel a lot better than I do. But when they had the 4 defensive linemen in the game, the running lanes shrunk tremendously for Robinson.
It's one of those, Robinson's got 4 wide receivers.
Yep.
If you put in 4 defensive linemen, that's one less guy in coverage. And we saw some Senators running loose in that secondary.
Right.
Now they have 4 defensive linemen in. And they're going to pass. Under pressure, gets it out to his receiver, makes one move, picks up nice yards. That's Zach Wofford again. Zach's been their leading receiver tonight. That's his 5th catch on the game. He's brought down by Dax Widger.
Cleveland took a big shot as he let that one fly to the flat. Shiloh's starting to get a little pressure. They're starting to get in the face of the quarterback. Was there a tick too late and able to get that out to a safety valve?
Ball's on the 28, 2nd and 3. Run it up the middle, but he's met right in the middle by Henley.
That is called playing downhill. You see a hole, you see the door open, you fill it, or you close it. Either way you look at it, Caden Henley came and showed up with bad intentions and dropped that one for a significant loss.
It's a loss of 2.
I mean, he almost took the handoff as quickly as he closed that door. He's got both elbows taped up. You got a little blood showing through. That's a linebacker you want playing for you.
3rd and 5. 2 down territory here for the Saints. For the Senators. We've already seen them go for it on 4th down. Fake the handoff, rolling left, has a receiver open, and he has that receiver for the 1st down and more. Inside the 20 to the 18. That was just a good touch pass out to his receiver, and even a better catch that time.
Ashton Williams was on the receiving end, but you mentioned the touch, able to just lob it over 2 Shiloh defenders right in his face, know where his receiver's going to be, and that's a big 1st down because that could have been a big loss going back the other direction.
First catch for Ashton Williams, and that was a big one. 1st and 10, they're in the red zone at the 18-yard line. Cleveland with Searcy, he's going to pass. He's looking into the corner of the end zone, juggled, not caught, incomplete. Oh, his receiver wanted it. That time it was that was KJ. That was Owens.
Great touch on the ball again by Cleveland. He hasn't had too many errant throws today, and he put it in at least a chance for his receiver to make a play. And he was tapping his chest saying, "That's my fault. Didn't make the play for you."
He was trying to make a one-handed grab. Went up with that left hand. Couldn't bring it in. 2nd and 10. Fakes it to Searcy. Searcy picks up the blitz. Tries to hit the receiver right around the goal line. That was KJ. I thought he came out. I thought he was tapping his helmet. I thought he was tapping his helmet. He needed to come out. He was tapping his helmet saying, "My bad."
A little window there for Cleveland, but again, Shiloh Christian had a little pressure on the quarterback. I'll let that one fly across the middle and just sailed on him.
3rd and 10.
So if you're Robinson here and you're likely 4 down territory, I'd look for, maybe even just give the ball to Searcy, see if you can get half of this back here on 3rd down and try to make it 4th and manageable.
Cleveland's to pass, looking in the corner of the end zone. Receiver tries to make an adjustment on the ball.
Late
the
flag.
Flag is late. Yep.
I thought that was just really good coverage, and they may get Shiloh Christian's Bodie Neal with interference.
It's Chase Nichols in the end zone trying to make an adjustment on it. And maybe when he made that adjustment, it's when the interference happened. Let's look here at the replay.
I don't know. There's not a lot there.
We'll take a look at it.
Pass interference. Defense. Penalties half the distance to the goal. Repeat 3rd down.
I don't think that's enough there. But the official in the back of the end zone threw the flag. He saw something that we didn't.
It was tough to see if there was any contact right there with that angle, or if there was any grabbing or holding. But it's a 1st down for Robinson. They're inside the no, it's not a 1st down. It's 3rd and 1, and we got a flag down. This play's blown dead.
A lot of movement up front, so it's a half the distance penalty.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So what was 3rd and 10 became 3rd and 1 and is now 3rd and 6.
And we got to remember, in high school, unlike college or the NFL, it's not an automatic 1st down for a penalty. It's a.
Don't believe there's any automatic 1st down penalties in high school. I may be wrong on that. But.
And move it back out just around the 14-yard line. 3rd and 6. Bunch formation. Look at this. They're going to keep it right up the middle into the end zone. They scamper in, and that is Kyson Wright for the score.
That was just a lot of window dressing for a quarterback draw right up the middle, but enough moving parts there for the Robinson offense. Had Shiloh second guess who had the football, and he's able to jaunt in from about 12 yards out and an easy score.
Oh, we told you earlier that Kyson Wright and Jack Cleveland were in a quarterback competition when the season began. And it wasn't until after a couple of games that Cleveland took over as a quarterback. But I was told Jakaisen can throw it, he can run it, and we just saw it right there as he ran it in out of that little wildcat formation, faked a couple of handoffs and just scampered right up the middle for the score to make it 35-7. Robinson answers with a huge drive.
How big was that overturned incomplete pass call now? Instead of Shiloh Christian getting the ball at midfield, it's ruled an incomplete on the field, and Robinson able to take advantage of that second opportunity and goes down and puts points on their board and regains that 28-point lead.
You could feel it here at the stadium. When they were looking at that review, the Saints had a lot of momentum on their sideline. Their sideline was excited. Their fans were excited. You just had that feel that they were mounting a comeback after scoring that touchdown and thought maybe they were getting another stop on defense. While we wait for Robinson to get their kickoff team on the field, let me remind you, we got a ball game tomorrow. It's the 2A state finals between Fordyce and McCrory. We will be here at 2:30. I hope you can join us. Fordyce looking for their third straight state championship. McCrory looking for their first title since, I don't have my 2A notes in front of me, I think 15. It was at 6 years ago?
I believe that's correct. And we get to see the Red Bucks, one of the top 5 mascots in all of Arkansas.
Got to throw them in the top 5. And McCrory, they've been right there at the top of the 2A rankings all year. Many felt like they were the best team in the state and going up against the defending champs. Another high pooch kick fielded right around the 35, and Joe T will make the tackle. Saints will start right around the 40-yard line.
So now Shiloh Christian, you've got to answer the bell, and you've got to start doing it in a hurry. You want to go down and try to score, and now you got to start stealing possessions, because you look at the time remaining, 17.5 game minutes left in this contest. Shiloh Christian, not only do they need to score, they need to start gaining extra possessions. So that's talking forcing turnovers, onside kick, whatever the case may be, because they've got to keep the Robinson offense on the sideline.
They need big plays,
yes.
Chunk plays. Wisdom all alone in the backfield. Looking to pass. He has time to throw as a receiver right across the middle. Catch is made. It's a big play for the Saints on first down. They go from their 40 to the Joe T. Robinson 42, a gain of 18. Look at them, hurry up. They're already ready to run another play. Wisdom gets it, hands it off, right up the middle. Get it down to about the 38-yard line. Baker picks up about 5.
And that was big for Shiloh Christian. They go empty backfield 5 wide, but the offensive line won and gave Wisdom time to find his open target.
Baker again. Baker across the 35. He's going to be marked out at the 34 before Owens knocks him out. Third and about 2. Well, we got some movement. See who we call. See if Joe T was in the neutral zone if the Saints move.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
You could hear the Saints fans moaning and groaning. They thought maybe Robinson was in the neutral zone. So 3rd and short. Now it's going to be 3rd and 7. Wisdom's going to keep it. Wisdom's met in the backfield and brought down. Micah Pennington with the tackle for a loss. Go ahead on your chart there, Bobby, and mark down another TFL.
Yeah, they moved the line of scrimmage there. I was complimentary of the Shiloh offensive line up until that point. The big 53 in white just engulfs Eli Wisdom and drops him for a loss.
Owens was there too, but he got knocked off the tackle by Pennington. That time Robinson jumps.
That's going to give Shiloh a free 5 yards on 4th down.
Before the snap, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So by my count, that's 6 tackles for a loss for Robinson defensively. And we talked about at the half, that number is really big on the stat sheet, 226 for the season. You're starting to see why maybe that may not be as far-fetched as maybe we thought.
4th and 5. Wisdom's going to look over at the coaching staff. He's got Henley next to him. Big play for the Saints.
In these situations, Shiloh Christian's moved the pocket quite a few times. We'll see if they roll Wisdom out one direction and try to slow down the rush, but Shiloh's going to call a timeout as the play clock is about to expire.
They took Solomon in motion. They ran this play earlier where Solomon goes in motion, then just runs an out route, and they also had Wisdom rolling out to his right and threw to his right and picked up the first down.
Yeah, that's when they started moving the pocket, that's really when they've been able to slow down the pass rush for Robinson. We haven't seen much, from Hutchinson really since, the first quarter? For Shiloh's offense. He's got 4 catches for 93 yards, but that first one for 54. They've been able to keep him in check for the most part. See what Shiloh wants to dial up here on 4th down. Going to give a big shout out to Ashley Media for helping us get the word out about these state football championships. Of course, we appreciate their support. Another one tomorrow.
Looking at some of the stats, Daryl Searcy's gone over 100 yards rushing in this game. He's got 108 and 1 touchdown. Jack Cleveland, 9 of 17 for 2 touchdowns. He's thrown for 175 yards. Zach Wofford, his leading receiver, 5 catches, 85 yards. As you said, for Shiloh Christian. Hutchinson, 4 catches, 93 yards. Their leading rusher is Ben Baker, 10 carries, 42 yards. Here we go, 4th down and a long 5 to go. Wisdom in the pocket, across the middle, and his receiver got kind of bumped off his route. He's pleading for a pass interference, but Bodie Neal's not going to get it. Senators forced the turnover on downs.
That's good coverage by Robinson. Kind of a jumbled mess there. The Shiloh coaching staff was also pleading for a call. They don't get it. But another 4th down opportunity goes for naught for the Saints offense.
Neal thought maybe he was thrown off his route, slowed down a little bit. No flag, so Senators will get it. And now they have their chance to go up by 35. They have the ball at the 38. Need 62 yards for a score. Cleveland under pressure. He quickly pulls it down. Ball's loose, and the Senators pick it up. And the lineman wants more. He wasn't going down. He wasn't just going to recover it. He was going to advance the ball a little bit. And that's Micah Pennington. We've seen Pennington on defense, and now Pennington, the big offensive lineman, with a huge fumble recovery.
That's when you know if things are going your way. Not only does an offensive lineman preserve a fumble, but he advances the football for you 4 yards, and you're ahead of the chains.
Picked up 4 yards after recovery. It's going to be a no gain, but Pennington's recovery moves the ball to the 42. Low snap, ball's loose again. Ball's on the ground. Saints have it. The Saints get it. Back-to-back fumbles. This time they recover.
Oh, they're going to say Robinson somehow comes out of the pile with it.
I got to see that again. I thought that big 79 had it. Pennington got it again? Are you kidding me?
Talk about having a nose for the football. And the snap was never there. And
he did.
Yeah, there he is. He's a heads-up football player, 53 in whites, listed at 6'1", 250, just a junior.
Did an offensive lineman get player of the game?
I mean, he's definitely player of the drive here. I mean, you don't want when your lineman touching the football at all, let alone twice on back-to-back plays.
Passes out, got his receiver Wofford, and Wofford's got the first down. You know, Pennington's the center, and he's responsible for that low snap, so maybe he felt like, I better recover this, or I'm going to be in a lot of trouble.
Making up for it. That's a nice job there by Wofford. Knows where the chains are at. Gets just beyond him, turns around, and the ball thrown perfectly by Cleveland. Of course, the Shiloh defense has to respect the deep ball, so not able to get up and press even on 3rd and short.
Cleveland is going to hand it off. Searcy's got it. Searcy picks up a nice chunk on 1st down. Give him 6 over the left side.
Yeah, again, a lot of moving parts in the backfield there, but a simple stretch play. The mesh to hold it for an extra count. Give it to Searcy on the outside. He finishes strong. Lowers the shoulder, picks up 6.
Ask Coach Escola about Micah Pennington. He's a junior. He's the strongest player on the team. He's also a leader on that offensive line. He's doing a good job of leading here. Cleveland wants to throw, and he's looking deep, has a receiver wide open. That is made for a touchdown reception. Ashton Williams, we've seen him on defense making plays, and now we see the second catch from Ashton Williams. This one gives Joe T. Robinson a 34-point lead.
They faked the exact same play they ran last time, the very previous play, and they just sneak Williams out, and it is simple throw and catch there for Jack Cleveland as Williams was lost in the shuffle. He's able to walk in for the score.
So Alex Gabriel is on for a very important extra point. Snap, hold, kick, it's up, it is good. 42-7, Joe T. Robinson up 35 with 1:13 to go. Big smile on Coach Escola's face. He knows what just happened. Let's show you what just happened. The sportsmanship rule in Arkansas will now go into effect. It's a rolling clock. Now that Joe T. leads by 35 points in the second half, the clock will only stop for scores, timeouts, and first downs.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter if the Saints score again and they get under 35. It doesn't stop the sportsmanship rule.
The only time it'll stop is if they score or they call timeout. If you go out of bounds, incomplete passes, they'll continue to roll. And so the final 12 minutes in the fourth quarter, and of course this final 73 seconds here in the third, going to go by pretty quickly, and that celebration can start on that far sideline as Robinson's about to win their second title in 3 years.
You have Robinson's scores, don't you? Their previous games.
Mm-hmm.
I know they invoked the sportsmanship rule in the semis against Warren. The game before that was against Lamar.
49-14. And they did against Pocahontas. 49-7.
They did not. Wait, I'm not sure if they were up 35 on Mills or not.
They beat Mills 35-8 in the opening round of the playoffs. But, I mean, you may have to go back to the Ashdown game in the regular season. Only won that game 21-8.
That's an impressive run.
Yeah.
You invoked the sportsmanship rule in the finals, the semifinals, the quarterfinals, and possibly in the first round. I would have to go back and look in the archives to see what that score against Mills was if they were up 35-0.
Yeah, and again, we started the broadcast talking about how they were expected to be here, just like Shiloh Christian was. I mean, and they're showing why, that they were number 1 or 2 in every poll all season long in their classification. Their only blemish was to the 5A state champion. And so, I mean, clear-cut 4A champion. I mean, when you lose to nobody but a state champion, that's a pretty impressive resume.
We've already gone back and looked. They were up 35-0 at the half. High lofted pass for a screen. Ball is incomplete. Robinson was there. I think it was Ashton Williams was trying to pick it off. That was a very dangerous throw, but Wisdom had all kinds of pressure in his face. He was just trying to get rid of it and try to make a play.
It's a pretty impressive run for Joe T. Robinson. You want a copy of this state championship game or any of the 6 others that happened over the last weekend in this? Just go to mmproductions.net. Place your order. Order one for you, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother.
Wisdom back to pass, rolls to his right. He's throwing deep downfield. He's got a receiver there. And just an incredible play. Was that Wofford with it? Wofford comes back. The leading receiver for the Senators playing DB. You see Coach Maupin there on the field. That's the defensive coordinator. He knows how big that play was.
I mean, the closing speed on the final play of the third quarter is one thing, but look at the catch he's able to make here. The ball just looks like it hit him in the left shoulder. And there's a flag on the field, but what a play by Wofford. And they may get the Robinson bench coming onto the field.
See what the penalty is for before we take the break and we start this fourth quarter.
After the play, we have unsportsmanlike conduct against a coach from Robinson. Penalty be half the distance to the goal. Be penalized down there, fourth quarter.
That'll take us to the fourth quarter. Robinson rolling 42-7. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Hi, I'm Susie Everett, wishing you and your family a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday Season. With our busy lives today, we often forget the greatest gift of Christmas. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. I hope all of us will take the time and share the love of Christ this season. May your holidays be filled with joy and blessings. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us at Everett.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
Join us for 20 years of Christmas with the Tabernacle Choir.
Join us and the students and faculty of Belmont University's School of Music
as we celebrate Christmas at Belmont.
Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown!
Only on Arkansas PBS.
Team sports in Arkansas really is the building of character. It's being able to get through trials and tribulations as a team. You take those lessons from team sports and use them in everyday life situations. I'm RJ Hawk. Please consider giving to Arkansas PBS Sports.
This month in Passport on the PBS video app.
Feels like a oneness, and it's refreshing.
Starring Cara Toynton and Julian Ovenden. Don't miss The Sound of Music.
And the American Pops for a star-studded holiday celebration of American jazz legend Ella Fitzgerald.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS video app.
Christian won it. Celebrate game day under the arches. Access to tons of benefits through our rewards program. They're available today on the McDonald's app. We're loving it.
First and 10, Senators. Ball on the 13-yard line. They're up 42-7. Cleveland in the shotgun. He hands it off. This time it's to Freeman. Freeman's in for Searcy. He'll lose a couple of yards. That was Caden Henley on the tackle.
Henley's been playing lights out defensively. There's just not enough of them out there. As Robinson's been able to find big plays in the passing game, the running game, and more importantly, the turnovers. As that is now 4 turnovers on Shiloh Christian. We talked about you got to steal possessions. Robinson stole 4 of them, and that's why they've got a 5-touchdown lead.
You're not going to win many games turning the ball over 4 times and not forcing any turnovers.
Right.
Cleveland fakes the shotgun, or fakes the handoff, throws deep, and he overthrows his receiver.
Cleveland tried to push that one downfield. If he would have checked it down to his receiver, there might have been 90 yards of run after catch, because there was nobody anywhere close to number 2 for Robinson. KJ Owens could have been running for a while.
You'll notice that clock still ticking after the incomplete pass. 30-point lead, 35-point lead. Has the sportsmanship rule in effect if you're just joining us. It's been all Senators in this one. Just a dominant performance offensively and defensively. Cleveland fakes it to Freeman. He rolls out, running for his life. He's just going to tuck it and run with it to the 15, to the 20, to the 21-yard line. It was 3rd and 13. They're going to be short about 4 yards. They're going to mark him down at the 20.
Caden Henley trying to track him down from behind. The quarterback goes out of bounds at the 20. And 4th and 3. Is this going to be the first punt for Robinson?
It's going to be the first punt of the game.
You'll take it. You never want to punt, but if you've got to, I guess this is the scenario you want to do it in.
Nothing wrong with punting up 35, right?
Yeah. Knowing the clock won't stop.
They punt very rarely. Alex Gabriel is on to punt. Gabriel's a soccer player. They got him off the soccer field. High punt. It's going to land at about the 48. Great roll. Big bounce for the Senators. It's going to roll all the way to the 32-yard line. 48-yard punt with the roll, no return. Todd Escola will take that every single day.
So it'll change on the possession, but once they blow it ready for play, the clock's going to start back up. And, you know, this is just really surprising, Wes. I mean, the well-oiled machine that the Shiloh offense has been, 46 points a game, 429 yards of offense. And today they've been held to just 203 and 7 points. tip of the cap to those about 22 players on the defensive side, that defensive coaching unit. They deserve as much credit as anybody for the way they've played today.
Wisdom back to pass and was trying to set up a screen. You saw him kind of double clutch there. He was trying to find Cooper Hutchinson, but
big Marion Harris lined up at the defensive end. He recognized screen, shut his rush down. All 6'7" of him got his hands up into the passing lane. Wisdom's not the tallest quarterback, and he didn't have a clear window to throw through.
2nd and 10. Wisdom with Henley in the backfield. He's back to pass. He wants to go deep over the middle, but double coverage there, so he wisely chooses not to throw it. Smart move, finds Baker. Baker picks up about 6 on the play.
Just the big plays that Shiloh Christian's used to making just aren't there. Like the coverage has been exceptional for Robinson, but just the athleticism. They've got the closing speed, so what's normally open against other teams is not open for very long against this secondary. They're just making plays and forcing that front 5 for Shiloh to block for an extra second, and Robinson's been able to win a lot of those battles.
3rd and 5. Wisdom under pressure, gets rid of it quickly. Robinson sent a blitzing DB.
And just gun shy. He saw the pressure coming, and
that was Searcy.
Yep, didn't want to hold it for too long and just unloads it. Now it's 4th down coming up. Special thanks to Community Bakery for providing food for our crew and their continued support of Arkansas PBS.
We've seen some of the offensive stars for Joe T playing some defense, and right then you saw Searcy coming in on the blitz, and Wisdom had to get rid of it and just threw it away. 4th and 5. Need to get the ball out to the 42-yard line. Henley goes in motion. Wisdom looking to pass. He's got Henley wide open. He's got the first down and a lot more. Brought down at about the 33-yard line by Zach Wofford. Just snuck him out. He kind of went in motion, lined up his tight end, and just kind of got lost.
Yeah, a lot of times you think he's going to stay in and block, be an extra protector, and that time he just snuck him out. Wisdom hits him, and big run after a catch, and Shiloh Christian's inside the 35.
Wisdom rolls to his right. He may tuck it and run. No, he's going to throw it deep, and he's got a receiver there in the end zone. That's a touchdown. Time he finds Jacob Solomon.
We may not get a good angle at it, Wes, but if we had the end zone view, what the adjustment that he made, Solomon at the top of his route, the route was angled, put him towards the back corner of the end zone, but he broke it off and came back to the middle of the field, and the recognition of Wisdom sees it right there and able to put it on him and makes the play and gets Shiloh Christian back in the end zone.
Caleb Anderson to try the extra point after the 33-yard throw and catch. Extra point is up and good, 42-14. We'll take a break. We'll come back for the last 6:47. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it. At Big Red Stores, we're always proud to sponsor, support, and partner up with many events and activities throughout the community. Among them, high school championships throughout the state of Arkansas. At Big Red Stores, our team members are always ready to assist you to make your visit with us a pleasant one. And at Big Red Stores, we recognize that none of our support or ability to serve the community is possible without you. That's why at Big Red Stores, you're always the MVP of the Big Red team. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever.
Centennial Bank is committed to you. Since our founding in 1999, we've become one of the nation's most trusted banks by remembering that you come first, by empowering our communities to reach their highest potential through our dedication to local charities, education, and exceptional service. Because we are proud to call Arkansas home. Banking with you in mind. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
You want a copy of this or any other state championship game? Just go to mmproductions.net. Place your order to a title game tomorrow, and I guess it's not too early to put it on your calendar, Wes. Coming up in March, high school basketball championships down in Hot Springs.
It's on my calendar. It better be on your calendar.
It is.
Okay. It's the onside kick attempt. Did not go 10 yards. It hit a Saint anyway. Didn't it hit a Saint? Or was that just a spin of the ball?
Yeah, that might have been some wild English.
Doesn't matter. It goes out of bounds, so Robinson will get the ball.
Certainly unique.
Free kick out of bounds against the kicking team. Ball will be placed 5 yards from where it went out of bounds. First down, Robinson.
Can we see that again? The way that ball bounced, that was crazy. That was some wild spin. And if it didn't hit a Saint, that was some crazy English.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that kick.
Wow.
Man. He takes that kick, 3 yards sooner. Maybe you got a chance to recover that.
Well, it was close to going 10 yards to where they could just pick it up or right there at the 45. All right, so the Senators will take over. Clock is rolling. Cleveland's still in there. Looks like that's Searcy with him next to him. Yep, Searcy gets it. He's going right up the middle and picks up close to 5 on first down. Robinson will be content doing that for the next 6.5 minutes and just getting out of here.
It dawned on me, Wes. You look at the champions that have been crowned the last 2 weekends. The 3A champion from earlier day, Harding Academy. The 4A champion here, Pulaski, or Joti Robinson. And then your 5A champion, PA, all moving up next year.
Yep.
And so we're going to have a chance to see new state champions in classifications, at least 3 of them.
Cleveland in shotgun. Searcy standing next to him. They're milking that play clock. You can see it on the bottom right of your screen. Now at 5. Searcy right up the middle, met by 2 Shiloh Christian defenders. Henley, one of them. C44 getting up off the bottom of the pile. I don't know how many tackles Henley has, but he and Gwatney combined for that one.
Well, you got to believe Henley's going to be in double figures. And he looks like it. He looks like he's been through a battle. Both elbows taped up, bleeding. He's got a chance to be successful at that next level. And we've seen what Arkansas can do with linebackers from in-state. Henley's a good one.
That'll be a first down for the Senators. Just a pretty easy pitch and catch. That was Evans Olamy. First catch for him. First and 10 for Joe T. So they'll get to milk some more time off the clock.
And watch this offense just do work. And high school football fans are going to appreciate this, but 58 starts at left tackle for Amarian Harris. Started as a true freshman, played in a state title game that year. End his career with the championship. You're not going to see many players play that many games in a high school career.
He's got 2 state titles and 3 appearances.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good run. I was reading some material on him this week preparing for the game, and Coach Escola really thought that Amari grew up a lot after that freshman year. He didn't like losing in the state championship game. He said he saw a different Harris his sophomore year.
Yeah, lost to Arkadelphia, I believe, 4 years ago, and you put him into that program that Arkansas's got with Sam Pittman and the staff. You put him in the strength conditioning program. He's 6'7", 370 right now. He is going to be a monster in the next 12 to 18 months.
Another handoff up the middle. Henley there again. May have to check and get the official stats on Henley. How many tackles Henley has now? He's got to be getting way up there.
He just seems to be at least in position to make every play, especially here in the second half.
That was his 12th tackle of the game.
Yeah, double digits. I mean, he's laid it out there, just not enough.
3rd and 4. Senators get another first down. They'll be close to being able to just to milk the rest of this 3 minutes. Cleveland not going to get it. Whoa, I said I talked too early. Look at that effort for the first down. That was A nice run for Joe T. Robinson.
The second effort's big, and they're going to be able to get real close to just being able to kneel this one out.
It's the first time we've seen Bonner in the game at running back. Senior, fresh. You could tell he was fresh the way he was running the ball. Those legs kept churning. I think he knew how big that play was.
It's a complete effort. Robinson, 224 yards rushing.
480 right now, 480 total yards. Milking the play clock all the way inside 5. Bonner again picks up 2 yards. The Senators are about to win their second title in 3 years. It was back in the 80s they had their first title. It was a long drought. Coach Escola was so happy to end that drought a couple of years ago, and now they're going to have 2 in 3 years.
I mean, we're talking about it with success on the field, how it changes things, it changes your outlook of the contest, but success with the program. It changes the entire community's feeling about your program. It gets the young kids believing, hey, I can win when I get to that level, and that's how programs are built.
Good look at Cleveland. He's just watching the play clock. He was milking it, and you saw Coach Escola. He was putting up the V with his hands. He was making the V with his 2 hands, and I think you all know that V meant the victory formation. And you saw the offense line up, and Cleveland just took the snap and took a knee.
Once the game clock gets inside 40 seconds, they'll be able to take another knee and put this game in the books. And Coach Escola, get your head on a swivel.
Here comes the Gatorade.
That bucket's coming for you.
Yep. Oh, you're telling them, hold on. We're not doing it just yet. There's a big Amarian Harris coming out of the game. And you see the standing ovation. The coaches go over to Coach Escola, giving him a high five, a big hug right now. Harris gets him another ring.
If any player deserves a standing ovation, it's that one. I mean, you mentioned the number of games that he's played and the level that he's played at. I mean, you don't get Division I scholarships just handed out, and he has certainly earned it. And he shows why, because he manhandles anybody who lines up from across from him.
Coach is also pulling Jack Cleveland. You see Cleveland coming out of the game, and Coach Escola is giving him a big hug, the senior quarterback. Great year for Jack Cleveland as the final play, the final snap, a knee, and Joe T. Robinson is going to win the 4A state championship by 35. There's the Gatorade on Coach Escola, the big smile, and the Senators are celebrating. Second time in 3 years, Joe T. is your 4A state champs.
And it was convincing. 42-14 the final, and it was every bit that margin as Robinson jumped out to a big lead early thanks to a defensive stop, a forced turnover on the opening possession of the game, and they never let that momentum go as they thoroughly handled Shiloh Christian in this 4A championship game.
Senators run quickly to celebrate with their classmates. I think they're going to yell at them, get back over here and come congratulate Shiloh Christian. Here they come. You see Shiloh lining up and shaking hands with some of the Senator players who didn't make it over to their classmates. Just you nailed it, a dominating performance by Joe T. The turnovers in this game just dramatically changing. It all started with that first Shiloh drive all the way to the 1 yard line. I hate to even say the 1 yard line. It may have been the 1 inch line. It was so close to scoring a touchdown when that ball popped loose. And the Senators recover the ball in the end zone. They take it out to the 20. They march down and score. That's a 14-point swing right there to start the game.
You can't have the hypotheticals, but you always have to ask yourself, especially if you're a Shiloh Christian fan, what if that doesn't happen? What if we take a 7-0 lead? What if Robinson has to play from behind? We mentioned they've ruled off 6 consecutive sportsmanship victories. So what if Shiloh takes a 7-0 lead? How does this game play out? But again, give credit to the Robinson defensive players. They make the crucial play at that moment, and they created the opportunity for themselves.
Let's head down to the sideline and hear from the winning coach, Todd Escola.
Coach, your second title in 3 years. Just put into words how it feels. I'm proud of the kids. You know, the kids, the coaches, the community. A lot of hard work goes into it. Hats off to Shiloh. They got a fantastic program. We both get to move up to 5A next year, so we continue the rivalry, I hope, and just proud of our kids.
Your entire team just played absolutely phenomenal tonight, but talk about the progression of Jack Cleveland. Him and Kai had that QB battle back in fall camp, and he's just been phenomenal.
Yeah, our kids all year long have been special. You know, they're truly one. They're truly a team. We've never cared who we played. It was always about us. The same thing tonight. Our kids were loose. They just wanted to go play and compete, and couldn't be prouder of them.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Kyle Sutherland down on the field. Thank you, Kyle. Great job. As we will take a break, we'll wrap it up when we come back with the Senators celebrating another 4A state championship. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
During the past year, we've been traversing the natural state with our cinematic drone. From lakes and rivers, waterfalls, scenic byways, mountains, swamps, overlooks, and towering rock formations. This unique documentation of all 4 seasons from all 4 corners of the state with an aerial cinematic perspective will give you, the viewer, an Arkansas adventure like never before.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Riggs Rents, Arkansas's rental equipment provider. From aerial lifts to dirt moving machines and everything in between. Our family-owned and operated business takes pride in serving our employees and customers. Riggs Rents, a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports.
Farmers and Merchants Bank and the Bank of Fayetteville share the mission of Arkansas PBS to enrich and empower all Arkansans. Community, dignity, respect. That's what Me Banking is all about. More at mebanking.com.
Local broadcast of Arkansas PBS programming is made possible in part by Community Bakery. Scratch-made breads, pastries, cakes, treats, and locally roasted coffees. Served daily at 2 locations in Little Rock, 1200 Main and 270 Shackelford.
Joe T. Robinson, 42. Shiloh Christian, 14. Your 4A state championship game is in the books. Joe T., second title in 3 years. Take a look at some of the stats while Joe T celebrates their title, and it was a pretty dominant performance. 481 total yards by the Senators. They held Shiloh Christian to 70 yards rushing.
Just the pass rush, the shutdown. Eli Wisdom had 1,100 yards rushing on the season, and he had 5 yards tonight. Of course, in high school level, the sacks are taking off the rushing total, but just the front 4 was dominant from start to finish. And the turning point of this game, Wes, won the fumble, but Shiloh Christian gets the ball at the 5-yard line, 1st and goal at the 5 after the botched punt.
Yes.
And they get 0 points out of it.
Yes. You look at running-wise, their Shiloh Christian's longest running play was 14 yards. That tells you a lot about what the Senators were able to do. Is they have that trophy now, and it's headed back to West Little Rock. They'll add it to the trophy case, their 3rd state championship in school history. Here are the stats that we've been talking about. The big one for me, next to last, the turnovers. 0 for Joe T. Robinson, 4 for Shiloh Christian. We've now seen 3 teams in these state championship games over the 2 weekends have 0 turnovers, and it's not surprising all 3 teams won the game. Joe T. today, you had Harding Academy this afternoon with 0 turnovers, and Pulaski Academy last Friday night with 0 turnovers. Those 3 teams win convincingly, because part of the reason why they win the turnover battle.
You got to value the football. Possessions are so important. You don't have to score, but you just have to be able to take care of the football, make the simple plays, and not turn it over and not give the team either good starting position, momentum, whatever the case may be. That's what turnovers do. That causes you to things to really spiral out of control in a hurry if you don't protect the football, and that's why Robinson is your state champion.
Here's your MVP of the state championship game.
He completed one pass for 23 yards. Your most valuable player, Daryl Searcy.
Daryl Searcy, the running back for the Senators, 120 yards rushing and 1 touchdown. I was talking with Coach Escola earlier this week. He said this Daryl Searcy Jr. that they're getting the last couple weeks in the playoffs is the player they thought they were going to have. They said that he's just taking his game to another level. He's been practicing harder. He's been watching more film. He's been spending more time, just gotten really serious, and he's emerged to be the player they thought he would be. And Coach said, quote, he's playing his best football. And he had a great practice Tuesday, and Coach Escola said on Tuesday night, I can't wait to see what he does in the state championship game. He knew something special was coming, and you know what? Something special happened.
Yeah, 215-pound running back. That's tough to tackle, especially when it's cold and you've got a lead. Joe T. Robinson took advantage of their running back, and that's why he's the MVP, and that's why they're the champs.
Tomorrow we will be back. It's the 2A state championship game, Fordyce and McCrory. We'll be on the air at 2:30, kickoff at 2:40. Hope you join us. It is the last high school football game of the year. Kind of sad. It's been a great run. It's been a lot of fun, but it all boils down to one last game. Who wins the last title? Which team will be left celebrating tomorrow afternoon around 5 o'clock? Join us then. For Bobby Swafford, I'm Wes Moore. Have a great night, everybody.